Knock, knock. It's Monday, so it's time for Bad Elephant Wrestling. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you after a little bit of a break. We, as you know, saw you last time at our pay-per-view, Bad Elephant Wrestling Breakup, and that means it's the last time I called commentary with my co-host, 21st Century Fool. What's going on?
Good evening, Tom. It's good to be here. Had a little bit of a break. Especially after break up, and really excited to be back. We got a lot of action in store tonight, Tom. What are we kicking things off with?
Well, you know what? I thought we would kick off with a classic exhibition showcase, some nice athleticism through two of our most storied competitors. We have Noodle versus Thunder Bandit. Matt, what do you think about 2024 for these competitors? What do you think the year is going to hold in store for them?
I think 2024 is going to be much better to them than it has been for most of us. But yeah, I mean, you were talking about the competitors. These are two probably of the more high energy, high octane competitors on the roster. So I think this match is going to be like breakneck speed between these two, and I think if they can keep that momentum up, they can go very, very far in the remainder of this year.
Pretty optimistic viewpoint from you, 21st Century Fool. I gotta say, you're saying some nice things about them. Noodle, as we talked about many times, on a little path of redemption. He had a sky-high 2023, and then it ended quite bummer fashion, but
it crashed and burned, Tom. Just say it. It crashed and burned.
Well, I'm trying to be a little bit
somehow the ashes were set on fire again.
Well, that's quite harsh from you, but I am trying to be a little bit more optimistic. And meanwhile, Thunder Bandit came out of 2023 and decided to, have a little bit of a reinvention, and they are also trying to make 2024 their year. So it's very exciting, in my opinion, to see what these two are going to pull off in the next few months.
I feel like he made a mistake of taking off the mask.
Oh.
I feel like, I mean, come on. If you can double your size and become that sort of a dominant threat, do you ever go backwards? Now, don't get me wrong. I love the new look. But
you're not calling the kettle black over here. You're talking about people taking off their masks.
That's right. Mine never comes off. I shower in this.
Well, you'd be a dermatologist's nightmare, in my opinion. As they lock up at the beginning of this match. I want to give a shout out in the chat to Jaeger, producer Becca, and J-Bo coming out for Mammoth Monday. Glad to see you all as Thunder Bandit tosses Noodle to the outside.
It's Noodle already outside the ring, and now, I thought Thunder Bandit was going to be leaving, but no, reversed into that knee lift there.
Do you think we're going to see any countouts tonight, much like we saw at Breakup between Best Buy Josh and Dr. Robotnik?
Look, I think at this point, between these two particular wrestlers, now, I feel like Thunder Bandit is on a little bit more of a high, but Noodle especially needs a marquee win. And sure, you'd love to get it via a pinfall or a submission, but, a win is a win, Tom, and if you can get that just by keeping your opponent outside of the ring for 10 seconds, you shut up and take it.
Well, that's quite the strategy from 21st Century Fool as Noodle takes Thunder Bandit down to the mat. What I'm interested tonight is just to see what happens in our main event. Last pay-per-view, Josh beat Dr. Robotnik by countout, but the Sparkling Ice title did not change hands. So tonight we're having quite an extreme stipulation match. It's going to be Lies of Josh teaming up with Retro Josh and Best Buy Josh in a 3-on-1 handicap match. And if the Joshes can win, the Sparkling Ice title will go back to Josh. But if they lose, no form of Josh can ever challenge for the Sparkling Ice title as long as Robotnik holds it ever again.
I'm more wondering if the three versions of Josh can get through a match without fighting one another.
It's true. Josh doesn't like playing with anybody, but I wonder if he likes playing with himself.
There it is. Well, all right. All right, we are 5 minutes in. We're 5 minutes into the stream. Already got that out the door. Poison Rana by Thunder Bandit, now yelling at Noodle to get up. Big kick. Oh, Noodle with a giant kick of his own. These two slugging it out, not something you necessarily see from the two of them. Again, more of the high-octane high flyers, but sharing the leather with one another right now.
Absolutely. Josh in the chat saying, harder to keep Robotnik outside for 10 seconds than pin them for 3 seconds. So Josh kind of trying to take the road of achievement in his count-out victory for BEW Breakup.
Yeah, I mean, he's not technically wrong. 10 seconds is longer than 3 seconds. To be fair, we have seen him really struggle to keep Robotnik down for 3 seconds, even after multiple Jaeger bombs. So, again, sometimes you just leave someone outside the ring for 10 seconds. Sometimes you hit him with a chair and then leave him outside the ring for 10 seconds.
Well, I'm sure most competitors on this roster would take the high road and not use chairs, 21st Century Fool.
I don't know that many. I think we've seen a lot of chairs and or other weapons used in most of our matches, Tom.
Are you endorsing outside weaponry in matches, 21st Century Fool?
You got to do what you got to do.
I don't know. Well,
buttered Noodle!
All he's got to do is pin him. He's got Thunder Bandit in the center of this ring.
He hit it.
1, 2, 3.
Got him.
A well-fought victory for Noodle. 21st Century Fool, what did you think about that contest?
It was a little less octane than I thought, actually. I was expecting that to go a little more back and forth between the two of them. This could be the Noodle of old we used to see sort of start off a little slow and then just ramp up, and it's all Noodle all the time for the rest of the match, and I feel like that's what we got there, Tom.
So what you're just saying is he needs to go al dente before he's able to really bring it.
I don't think that's what I was saying, but you know what? Let's go with that. What do we got next, Tom?
Well, up next we have a tag match. We are going to see Gilgs and Jabo versus the Wario Brothers in some no disqualification action. 21st Century Fool, what do you think about the current state of the tag division here at Bad Elephant Wrestling? Would love to get your insight.
I mean, it's fantastic because we're in it. It's less fantastic because we don't currently have the belts.
Well, one step at a time.
But, the more the merrier for more people coming in,
We have
Good to see another tag team here.
Mm-hmm. Gilgs and Jabo made a sensational debut against Reggie and Martinet back at Breakup, and now they're looking to go toe-to-toe with two more members of the Mushroom Kingdom in Waluigi and Wario. So we're going to cut over to that match going live shortly.
I will say, I think it was Josh who brought this up the other day. I feel like they need to come up with a tag name. I feel like most teams, have a tag name. They're not always the best. Sometimes creative gets in the way. I'm looking at you, the Boston Hug Connection. That was the lowest hanging fruit you could possibly get.
I thought you were calling it New Catch Republic for a second.
No. That's actually a decent. I mean, it's better than the Boss and Hug Connection.
Well, from what I'm told, Jabo and Gilgs do have a tag name, but much like they're keeping it to them. They're very mysterious. They don't want to launch it before it's ready. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's fine. As long as they keep competing at the rate that they are, they can just go by Gilgs and Jabo for all I care.
I mean, that is true. They are very mysterious. They shot a promo prior to this event, but it was really just about 6 minutes with a lens cap on, so I'm not really sure what it was all about.
Also, Jabo is coming back and forth from Otherworld, so he may not have time to think about a tag team name. All his earthly energy is being spent on staying here for 24 hours at a time before Baba takes him back to Otherworld.
I mean, you make a fair point, Tom, but there is nothing more important than Mammoth Mondays on Bad Elephant Wrestling.
Absolutely, most important day of the week.
The most important day of the week, the most important wrestling event happening on Mondays.
Jabo and Gilgs told us in interviews before their debut that they were looking to bring a lot more of the kind of extreme 90s iconography to Bad Elephant Wrestling. They're both inspired by, of course, the Outsiders, big sexy Kevin Nash, and the bad guy Razor Ramon. So it's a little, maybe their tag name will call back to some of those vibes, some of those moods. And speaking of a mood, here come the dirtiest players in the Mushroom Kingdom. We got Waluigi and Wario making their way to the ring.
It's our boy.
Who do you got your money on for this match, 21st Century Fool?
Well, I mean, Wario and Waluigi, they look very confident. They look like they know something. They look hungry. Well, Wario always looks hungry. But, you can't count out the new team. Again, the mysterious team. But if they're hearkening things back to the 90s, then
J-Bo
you're in
chat.
for a match.
J-Bo redeeming a hydrate in the chat, so get some liquid into your mask hole, 21st Century Fool. After this entrance, I want Gilgs and J-Bo to put these two in the ground because those dance moves, a sight to be unseen.
You clearly have never been to a wedding in the 90s.
No, actually, I never was.
Or the 2000s.
Oh, eye rake from Gilgs to Waluigi.
Referee does not care about the eye rake at all in this no-holds-barred match. I'm not even sure why we have a ref in there. You just get AI to count the pin. It's fine.
Oof. Gilgs taking a kidney shot there. Waluigi stunned on the outside. It looks like Gilgs put quite a beating on him very early in the match, and now the two going to work on Wario.
I would say I haven't seen Waluigi take a beating like that since something, but he has not received his Smash Brothers invitation, so we're never going to see Waluigi take a beating like that.
He hasn't received it, and he never will. And I kind of get a little sense of glee out of it. I don't know. Ooh.
You would.
Nice atomic drop. And J-Bo just slapping
J-Bo
Waluigi
with
in the
just
face.
the slap and then completely turning his back on Waluigi. You've got to love it.
J-Bo and Gilgs debuting in 2024 alongside Apocalypse QT. It's been a very interesting beginning to the year. A lot of new additions to the roster, and we'd love to see it. The more competition we can have here at Bad Elephant Wrestling, the better.
J-Bo throwing Waluigi back inside and then completely... Oh, I thought he was completely ignoring him there.
I do have to correct a little bit of an error we called during Bad Elephant Wrestling breakup. We had said that RK and CJ won their first ever Taco Bell tag team titles. This is actually their second reign. They won a little bit early into Bad Elephant Wrestling's creation, and it was only by doing some record keeping that I caught that. Ooh, the referee taking a tumble from Waluigi there.
Waluigi, once again, agreeing that the referee shouldn't even be in there and just absolutely trying to remove him.
No one's calling this match. And Josh, of course, pointing out that Best Buy Josh joined Bad Elephant Wrestling this year, too. So, again, many great debuts this year.
Absolutely.
Gilgs
Wonder how many more we will have as Gilgs up top. Oh,
Nice
big elbow.
One. What is this count? What is this count?
The referee has a concussion.
Clearly.
Or we really moved to AI and it can't figure out how to count to 3. Because I find it very interesting that all the things AI can do, math isn't one of them. Oh, that was kind of interesting from Gilgs. That little, run up, almost springboard body splash.
Absolutely, and jumping off Brett's rope as well, the most dangerous rope, as we all know. Gilgs going back up top. What's he got here?
He's going to fly.
Take
Another
it out,
elbow.
Waluigi.
Oh. The camera, also controlled by AI, on the complete wrong person. As Gilgs gets the pin, J-Bo stealing the spotlight there, but it's a win nonetheless for the newest tag team of Bad Elephant Wrestling. Tom, what did you think of the match?
I thought it was a great showcase for these two, and it's funny enough that Gilgs gets the pinfall with that elbow, and J-Bo is like, I'm still going to powerbomb him. I don't even care that we won the match. I'm going to.
This match is over when I say it's over.
A very dominant win from Gilgs and J-Bo, announcing themselves officially. I guess you could say this is their calling card match for the tag division, saying, hey, everyone's got to wake up. We're here. We're coming for the gold. And CJ and RK, you know, as we were mentioning, they are in their second reign in quite some time, but, you know, could it be a short one? I guess it's going to come down to how fast these two climb the ladder. 21st Century Fool, any final thoughts you have on this tag bout we watched?
I mean, we knew it was two overly confident tag teams, and perhaps the smuggier team came out on top, and I'm not really mad about it.
Hey, I'm impressed to see what happens next. And speaking of next, we're going to have quite an earth-shattering face-off in the Bad Elephant Wrestling Women's Division. Apocalypse QT, who's had some success since joining, is now going up against who you could call maybe the Charlotte of Bad Elephant Wrestling. I don't know, but producer Becca.
Why would you insult producer Becca like that?
Well, when you compare success metrics, producer Becca is on a streak that only Charlotte could possibly match. Multi-time women's champion, and Apocalypse QT wants to get to that level, but they're going to have to go through the queen of the castle.
That is very true. And yes, but to be fair, producer Becca actually earns her championships, which is a clear distinction. Also, I think can actually do a promo that doesn't consist of just talking over the other person on a microphone. And I'm pretty sure we've seen producer Becca actually pull off a halfway decent moonsault. So, I mean,
I'm actually going to push back on you right there. I think Charlotte has quite a good moonsault. I think you're talking about Tiffany Stratton. I think if you pull up a highlight reel of Charlotte's moonsaults, they are very impressive. You know, starting from the terrific one they did at WrestleMania 32 onwards. You know, I'm not saying Charlotte's as good as they present her, but Charlotte does have athletic ability.
Oh, she has athletic ability, but, you know, if you spend any time on the internet, you are well aware that most wrestling fans feel like she has one of the worst moonsaults in professional wrestling at the moment, or when she was still here. But again, I feel like now that you have Tiffany Stratton, who actually pulls them off pretty well and pretty consistently, as well we didn't see at the Elimination Chamber in Perth, despite her trying multiple times.
She did a good senton, though.
The senton off the top was a thing of beauty.
J-Bo calls
and
her
it's not just because she's gorgeous. So, we got to hydrate again.
Yep.
J-Bo's got those points.
I will say, the worst women's moonsault I think ever is Lita's. Not doubting any of Lita's other abilities, but the way that she kind of like strangely rotates and just seems to completely come down on her knees. I'm surprised she can still walk after all these years.
If you would like to get in the comments on Tom, you could feel free to do so in the chat through any social media platform, or join our Discord to show up and tell Tom, hey, I disagree with you, and here's why.
Sorry, 21st Century Fool, we can't all be as right as you. As QT's got Becca down and a nice leg drop off the ropes. What up, Hans?
It's less being
Cowboy? Good to see
it's less being right, Tom, and more trying to actually drum up business here for Bad Elephant Wrestling.
You are a consummate salesman, and
someone's got to do it.
Well,
speaking of someone's got to do it, Apocalypse QT. I believe it's stomping a mud hole and walking it dry.
Absolutely. You know, this is impressive. I think this is the first singles match that QT has been in since their debut, and they're really putting it to producer Becca. Producer
Becca taking to heart your comment about her being Charlotte Flair and doing her best impersonation of her after she tore her ACL.
Good grief. Good grief. Nice neck breaker. Oh,
Stomping a mud pie is something slightly different, I think, Josh.
off the ropes into a wow. You call this
Twisting, not quite a spinning, but a twisting neck breaker there. Going for the cover in the middle of the ring. Only one.
I was gonna say, is this gonna be neck breaker city? We'll have to find out.
I mean, you know, when you're good at something, you build a city out of it. Oh, look out here.
Nice.
Wheelbarrow DDT.
Ooh.
Standing shooting star.
And going for the pinfall. 2. And QT kicks out.
I'd say let's see Charlotte Flair do that, but I think she has done that in the past, if I'm not mistaken.
21st Century Fool, what you should pay attention to at the moment is we have a Hans in the chat.
Hello, Hans. How are you?
Good to see you. Hans.
Always good to see you. Apocalypse QT getting the knees up on another standing shooting star, turning things around with a big punch here. Oh, and another. Whew.
You have to wonder if Becca has maybe not gone against an opponent as aggressive as Apocalypse QT. You know, a lot of the members of our women's division are consummate sportsmen, but QT just believes in getting results as no matter how hard you have to hit. Is this something Becca maybe was not prepared for?
I feel like Apocalypse QT is the Metroid Mike of the women's division.
Oh, good call. Good call.
And it has worked out for Metroid Mike very well. So not sure if that is, you know, Apocalypse QT, you know, just this is her style, or she is looking to imitate, you know, a former champion and have that help her, you know, garner some respect, some adulation, and hopefully a title or two.
Keyword their former champion at our last event, Bad Elephant Wrestling Breakup. JB cashed in and defeated Metroid Mike to become the new Bad Elephant Wrestling champion, and we'll hear from the new champion next week.
Oh!
Wow, an impressive top
What
rope
in the...
move.
Was that like a 450?
Well, it wasn't enough to get a 3 count. Thunder Bandit in the chat. We are doing well. You had a nice contest against Noodle earlier tonight. Glad to see you coming out. How are you doing, Thunder Bandit?
Oh, producer Becca going back to the well one too many times there. Getting a drop kick to the face for her troubles. And now Apocalypse QT going back to work on the legs there. And the back. And the front. And the front again.
I'm a little worried for producer Becca. You know, usually the most able to rise to the challenge of anyone on the women's roster. You know, they have the most women's title reigns as a result of that. But QT is really, really pushing back.
I mean, you watch somebody come down with a chair to the ring. They are clearly sending a message, and they are backing it up here. Oh, page turner.
This could be it. 1, 2, and
it is.
3.
Not sure what Apocalypse QT calls that, but
I think she calls it a win, 21st Century Fool.
that is certainly what it was, Tom.
21st Century Fool, do you think this is the dawn of a new era in the women's division? Did we just see producer Becca get dethroned?
Well, I think you are going to, I think Apocalypse QT is going to tell you that's exactly what it is. I will tell you that she made a huge statement here tonight. As you said, I think this is actually her second singles match. The first one, though, I believe, ended in a countout win. This one, much more definitive and decisive. And right, anytime you could pick up a win over a former multi-time champion, you are climbing the ladder pretty quick. So there are going to be some targets going around here on both Apocalypse QT, I'm sure, and everyone else on the roster, because she is coming for everybody.
We'll wait to see where that's going to go. 21st Century Fool, we're coming up on our main event, the big 3-on-1 handicap match. Do you want to remind everybody of what the stakes are for this contest?
It is the Sparkling Ice title on the line, of course. It is all 3 Joshes in the ring. My God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Feel like I'm drunk here and seeing triple on my screen right now. We are these taking on the current champion Robotnik. If he wins, I don't know, they cut the championship in 3 and somehow share that. We'll figure that detail out later. More importantly, if the Joshes lose, they are not allowed to challenge Robotnik for the Sparkling Ice title ever again.
Absolutely. This is a last chance match. If Josh can't get it done with the help of 3 of them, he's not allowed to compete for this belt ever again. And, these matches are not without precedent. At WWE Backlash 2009, you had Randy Orton and his stable, The Legacy, go up against Triple H and the McMahon family in a 6-man tag with the single belt, the WWE Championship, on the line. And because Randy Orton got the pin in that matchup, he became the WWE Champion. So similar kind of concept here. Anyone on Josh's team gets the pin on Robotnik, they are the new champion.
Chris lurking in the chat from 1H1D, good to see you. Becca saying that's 3 Joshes too many. I disagree. That's about 5 Joshes too many, producer Becca.
Goodness. Chris, really good to see you. We're doing well. Hope you are doing awesome all the same.
I don't think Andy Reid needs another title. He just won a Super Bowl. Now he has the Sparkling Ice title. I don't think that's necessary.
Shit. Toxic Pandalf, thank you so much for this amazing spreading of the wealth. You are so kind. Thank you for giving out subs to our beautiful friends and fans. And thank you for just being an awesome person. How the heck are you?
From Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 242 pounds.
And coming down to the ring, we have Lies of Josh. Which Josh do you think would get the pin here tonight? 21st Century Fool, if any.
That is an excellent question. I think, honestly, none of them might, just because they'd all be fighting one another over who should actually get the pin. I'm also going to point out that apparently all of the Joshes, in true Josh fashion, have decided not to come out as a team, but to come out individually. So combined, their entrances are going to take about 45 minutes. So if you need to, order a pizza, get something to drink, run a half marathon, any of those things, you'll be back just in time to actually see the match start.
Toxic Pandolf, wonderful to see you. How are you? Hope you had a great weekend. And Josh in the chat saying we are going to give the people their money's worth. So that's a promise. Let's see if he can keep it as Lies of Josh waits for his fellow partners, his fellow versions. Are your clones considered your siblings, 21st Century Fool? Like, if you have a clone of yourself, is it your brother?
It's an excellent question, Tom.
In the chat, let us know. If you have a clone, are they considered your sibling? Are they considered your cousin?
I'm trying to think of the precedence.
Are you considered their
anywhere.
dad? Are you considered the parent of your clone? Like,
take in the beauty, says Josh.
Take in all 6 to 20 minutes of the beauty. I was confident we wouldn't run out of time early because I knew Josh's entrances were going to take forever.
I mean, we're going to get to this match by Wednesday, I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, like producer Becca in the chat, if a clone was made of you, are you its mother? Are you its sister? I'm curious to know. Welcome to Clone Talk here at Bad Elephant Wrestling. Josh is saying you are Papa. Josh says that, so does that mean that these are Josh's children coming to the ring?
Interesting.
Well, we could do like a Clone Saga kind of thing where Josh is Peter Parker and like this is his Ben Reilly, like maximum Joshage. That's what we could call it.
Becca would say sisters based on how twin DNA works. I'm just thinking, JB saying if you are the one who does the cloning, you are the parent. If someone else makes it, you are irrelevant and in danger.
Great answer.
That is excellent.
JB.
I was just going to say, speaking of the DNA and everything else, Tom, does that mean we officially have the bloodline in Bad Elephant Wrestling?
Oh my gosh. I mean, Josh is the kind of person who would create his own bloodline and just fill it with himself.
Again, they fight over one another just to see who gets to say "acknowledge me" every week in a promo.
We actually got to be careful. If Josh's bloodline gets too powerful, he might split off from Bad Elephant Gaming and form his own stable.
I mean, that's true. Or he could become like the senior director of the company or whatever, and then position himself into a WrestleMania.
He could become the CEO of Best Buy. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, Best Buy Josh descending to the ring from the heavens right now. And if you want to go make some ramen, I think you got enough time to boil some water and get that going. The crowd letting Josh know what they think of him.
That's because he forgot to bring down that 80-inch TV he was up on the cherry picker actually getting. But, you know, whatever.
Gotcha. The crowd reacting to Josh the way you react to most wrestlers 21st Century Fool. Just complete judgment. How do you feel? Did you bribe everybody in this arena tonight?
No, they just know.
Gotcha. Bruce Rebecca, all you have to do is ask them an Elden Ring questions and they'll get distracted.
It's fair. Well, they better hope that doesn't happen tonight, because as we said, if they lose here tonight, they never get to challenge Robotnik for the championship again.
Absolutely. Shades of Extreme Rules 2010. Or wait, no, perhaps it was Judgment Day or Backlash 2010, where Edge had the World Heavyweight Championship and Batista... No, it could have been 2010, because Batista left after WrestleMania 2010. I just recall that we've seen this scenario on several occasions, and one of the more famous examples was a rivalry between Edge and Batista for the World Heavyweight title, which must have taken place in 2008 or 9. And Batista lost through shenanigans and interference. Batista lost the match and could not challenge for the title until Edge lost the belt. And do you know how Edge lost that belt, Matt?
I do not, Tom. How did that happen?
CM Punk cashed in his first Money in the Bank contract on Edge. And thus, Edge's reign in 2008 came to an end. Becca, even Josh is getting a drink during his own entrances. Well, Josh knows how to use his time. Let's hope they didn't run out of stamina just getting down to the ring.
Oh my, I think I just did. If you hear any snoring, that's somebody else.
Okay.
Nope, still going.
There we go. All right. Andy Reid ready to take on Triple J. And the bell is rung.
Thought that was going to be the match right there. Powerbomb reversed. Big stomp. And a dragon screw. All right. Seeing some technical work a little bit out of Robotnik.
You know, you'd think after taking on Robotnik so many times that Josh would have a strategy down, that he would know all Robotnik's moves.
You would think.
So, yeah, I think if Josh loses here tonight, he really has nobody to blame but himself and himselves.
Right? Instead, getting tossed around a bit, much like Rhea Ripley in the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view.
Are you saying Dr. Robotnik is the Nia Jax of the men's division?
That's actually fairly accurate on a whole bunch of counts.
Emphasis on whole.
Badoomts.
Suplex.
Can we get a My Whole chant going tonight like they had in Perth?
I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe they did that.
That was
fantastic.
Amazing. What is not amazing for Josh, there we go. I was about to say, did he tire himself out during his entrance? My goodness.
Becca asking, how was the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? 21st Century Fool, do you want to offer your opinion first?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. There were some really good matches in there. The one thing I will say, it only detracted minorly to it, is
Oh my God.
hold on a
Oh my
second,
God.
as
Oh.
Robotnik leaving the ring, and he's been eliminated. Ring the bell.
Oh.
It was a little predictable, the actual winners of all the matches. Tom and I sort of we did a little prediction before the event to see, you know, who had the better card picked out. And surprising probably no one, we had the exact same predictions.
We predicted every
and
match.
then surprise, surprise, all of those predictions were correct.
Absolutely. Can we talk about, is Best Buy Josh the most powerful Josh that has ever lived? He just powerbombed Robotnik outside the ring, and now it looks like all the Joshes are coordinating, doing everything they can to keep Robotnik down.
I have never seen I have never seen Josh work this well in tandem with anyone, even himself.
Now Best Buy Josh stalking Robotnik and putting him in a bit of a submission move. We're at the 5 count.
That's right. Getting back to your point about is he the stronger Josh, he may have the Best Buy exclusive power glove, so that may actually help.
Oh, right. You need help lifting all those refrigerators and putting them in the cars, of course.
That's correct.
Robotnik has got to get into the ring.
He is not going to do it, Tom.
God damn it.
There it is. Your winners. It's Team Josh. Look at this. Oh, wait. Are they allowed to actually, like, touch one another? Is this sort of like Time Cop? If they touch one another, do they, like, explode or something?
All right. We just have to give him the belt.
You can be overwhelmed and underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed? I think you can in Europe.
21st Century Fool, are we allowed to let this end like this?
Look, Tom, I tried to give Josh the win last week when he managed to pull out a win over Robotnik for the first time in forever.
With a
and
count
you
out.
said no. And so we made this match, and it still ended with them winning. So
I just don't understand how this keeps happening.
let me tell you a little thing about AI, Tom.
I hate that.
It is going to rule the world. It is the biggest, flashiest thing. And currently, right now, it is dumb as fuck.
Wait a minute. Boo, 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 boo. Is that a match I hear being booked by the forces that are just actually us?
We're booking another match?
I don't have any control over this, but I guess based off that victory, a match is about to happen. 21st Century Fool, did you know that Josh is now cocky enough to just have another match?
Is he allowed? Are the inmates running the asylum? What are we doing?
I guess he just wants to go again. He has the belt back, and now he wants to rub it in someone's face.
You do understand that if he loses this match, you cannot complain or make a face like you just did. Like, you are aware of that, right?
Yeah, I know. I just want this pay-per-view to... I just want this to end with something other than a count-out victory for Josh. Oh my god. Josh is challenging Luigi for the Sparkling Ice Championship.
Luigi, who is on a winning streak, I might point out. So this is fantastic booking. I am with you, Toxic Pandolf. That is my face under this mask right now.
Oh, wow. No holds barred. So that means there's not going to be any countouts. This has to just end as an actual match would end.
I mean, the other one ended just like an actual match would end too.
I'm just having a mental breakdown here, 21st Century Fool. I can't handle that. I thought we planned that so well.
Well, the problem is the AI doesn't understand that you don't win the belt if you win the match via countout. So it just goes, hey, I'm going to win this match.
Well, by our own rule set, Josh won the match, but I want to have a good title match to end Mammoth Monday. So let's get it on.
I am absolutely going to laugh if Luigi beats Lies of Josh right now.
Well, Lies of Josh bucking out with some elbows. Maybe he's going to stomp a mud pie into Luigi, as was mentioned earlier in the chat.
Who you got in the chat? Let's hear it.
Let's hear your bets in the chat. Who is going to walk out of this match with the Sparkling Ice title?
Josh appears to be just as frustrated as Tom is right now.
Less frustrated and more
Discus punch.
I'm like a madman at a breaking point. You know what I mean? Just like how? How does this happen?
Scooping Luigi up. All the power. Oh, speaking of all the power,
Look
and again.
at this. Up.
Just deadlift into a gorilla press. That is crazy.
Oh, I'm also just getting word that Robotnik was so horrifically injured by that power bomb that he's actually going to be out of action for 2 years. What do you think about that 21st Century Fool?
Well, he's got to focus on getting the Chiefs to 3 championships in a row.
Sure, the Super Bowl takes precedent for Robotnik.
That makes perfect sense, you know.
Josh
he is.
Oh, try to bury Luigi.
And now has brought a weapon into the ring to even things up. And here's where it all falls apart for the Mad Hatter.
Well, you heavily endorse weapon use, so you must be excited by this.
It's great when it works for you, but when you bring it into the ring and then accidentally give it to the other person, it's not great.
Oh, nice sequence by Josh, ending in a devastating beatdown on Luigi. And here it continues, knee to the face.
Josh feeling himself like it isn't like that any other day, and he's going to get kicked in the mouth for his troubles.
Honestly, he seems a little bloodthirsty. He's got the belt
Short
back.
DDT. I think that's just Liza P. You just get extra bloodthirsty. Kick to the midsection there. Oh, missed with that elbow, though, but not with that fist.
Lies of Josh defeating the whale that was Robotnik. But can he defeat Luigi? Oh, Josh now down in the corner.
Feel like you haven't read that book, Tom.
Pinocchio? What book?
Did you?
There's a whale in
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
There is a whale in Pinocchio, but that's not the white whale.
That is Andy Reid.
Right.
I'm just saying, Lies of Josh defeated a whale, like Pinocchio.
Correct.
Remember when Pinocchio killed that whale? That's how Pinocchio ended, right? He kills a whale.
That's correct.
All
I mean, doesn't he? He smokes him out,
he
doesn't he?
smokes him. He smokes that whale. All right, Josh.
There we go.
Taking the shovel to Luigi.
I was gonna say, Tom, I don't think you took enough classics courses in college for the white whale reference.
Because we all know that Pinocchio is mandatory college reading. Just look at this. Viciously pounding into Luigi.
Now going after the arms. Will he go after the fingers? Will he pull a Pete Dunne?
I mean, better than pulling a Butch. Gut wrench powerbomb. Shades of Jack Swagger.
Well, if you ask Josh, he has all the swagger in the world.
JB requesting that we change his nickname to Ishmael in the Discord.
Thank you. Somebody had some classics courses in college. Thank you, JB.
Look, I'm aware of Moby and his dick, okay? Josh now throwing Luigi.
Nobody listens to Moby. Or techno,
Eminem.
I guess is the correct line, but yes.
And Josh now signaling this could be it. The year of Luigi coming to an end. Jaeger bomb.
Will that be enough as Josh landed on the shovel he brought in? rolling Luigi over as Luigi tried to get to the ropes.
1, 2, oh.
Kick out. Don't look now, Tom. There's still a chance this ends poorly.
Well, it's already gone longer and more exciting than the last match. So far, our audience is winning. And wow, what a maneuver.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Look at this.
We're going coast to coast.
I believe the phrase is Josh is running a train on Luigi. That's what they say, right, Matt?
I'm not sure who you're talking about who says that, and I'm not sure that's the train either, but, you know, let's call it good.
And here we go. This is the second Jaeger bomb, which
Oh my
win
God.
this match.
Sorry, I was
Boom.
distracted. JB in the chat saying Moby got his manscaping idea from a science journal and calls it a Mobius strip.
Huge if true. 1, 2, Luigi
Kick out.
kicking out once again, and Josh
That's
furious. It's never taking him this long to beat a Mario game.
I have no idea how many lives Luigi has. This
Josh
is pretty incredible here.
casually posing, no concern in the world for his opponent, and
Luigi
managing to get out there.
refusing to give up.
Oh,
Ooh, backbreaker.
wow,
Look at
wow,
that.
wow. Wailing away, and
Oh.
he's busted open Josh.
Yelling for Josh to get up, and Josh, of course, absolutely ignoring him. Oof.
Josh doesn't do anything unless he wants to, and right there he wanted to take that drop kick. Like Luigi was trying to reposition Josh.
Uh-oh, look out here.
And a legacy DDT.
And down the pipe goes Josh. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. But Luigi not following up
No.
like the secondary character he is.
Like he had an opening.
Oh, he absolutely did and took too long, and this is why his name is never first on the marquee.
Always player
Oh,
two.
going for a stunner there.
Oh, big lariat.
Huge
using
lariat.
all the power of that power glove.
Josh out of the ring.
Kind of psyched himself up. He was like, better go.
Like it
better
was
go.
on fire there. Thought it was a white whale, perhaps.
Oh, here we go. Jaeger bomb? Not
I
entirely.
think that was something else.
I mean, a power bomb's a power bomb, but there's a technique behind the best ones. Working over the legs. And here we go. Third Jaeger bomb of the match. Fourth power bomb overall. Luigi's dead center of the ring.
He's currently playing light as a feather, stiff as a board, it looked like there.
Here we go. 1, 2, and
There it
3.
is.
Josh retains the title that he's had for about 20 minutes through an actual effing match.
I don't listen to player twos, and that is why he is your multi-time sparkling ice title holder and player one in your hearts. It's Josh Jaeger.
Well, I think what this signals to the rest of the roster is that there are chinks in Josh's armor, and you know what I mean. This could open him
Are
up
you even allowed to say that?
to a whole new. What's the term then? I thought that's what it was. I'm not referring to. I know what you're joking about, but anyway.
There are cracks in the facade of Josh
All right,
that he
better
is
phrasing.
unbeatable.
Better phrasing. Thank you. But what do you think this means for Josh? He reclaims the belt, but what price did he pay?
I mean, he had to get in the ring with two of his other selves and also, end the space-time continuum.
Well, no,
But I think you're asking Josh at what cost. He's going to say it's the cost of doing business to get his belt back, and he has it.
well, he does have it. All right. So that takes us from Mammoth Monday into an exciting new season of MyGM mode. 21st Century Fool, I, of course, love calling action with you. but now you're my enemy.
Oh,
Now,
hold on, Tom. Hold on.
Oh.
You can get to calling me out here in a minute. Toxic Pandolf has said, "By the way, guys,"
Uh-oh.
and I am on pins and
What do we
needles
got?
waiting
What do
for
we
the
got?
rest.
What do we got? You need
I need more cowboy. Do you have a fever?
Well, that's
Is there only one cure?
You will very well get some Cowboy in the next few minutes because Cowboy will be draftable. This is going to be season 4 of MyGM mode, where Matt and I stop collaborating on wrestling and we start going head to head. And we are launching a brand new competitive season with many, many more of our friends and our fans available to draft. Jabo, Apocalypse QT, Gilgs, the new versions of Josh, the many versions of Hans, 21st Century Fool. Am I forgetting anybody?
Look, everybody's in there.
Everybody's
Top to bottom. If you were in Bad Elephant Wrestling, you are in my GM mode right now, including Doctor's Orders. Cowboy.
Cowboy will be here. 21st Century Fool. Let's see. Custom Superstars used as a GM will not be available in the draft pool.
I guess that's acceptable.
That's fine. So I will kick things off. I will be the GM of... I think I'm going to go with Smackdown. I'm going to be the general manager of Smackdown. All right.
That's a good choice.
21st Century Fool, you are up.
Is the music off, Tom?
Oh, let me check.
Just want to double check.
It is, but thank you for checking.
Don't want to get in any trouble here.
Not giving any of these tunes away. What are you going to pick?
Oh, let's see. Oh, that's interesting.
You going to take up WCW the way I did?
Maybe. I don't, I've had good luck with NXT.
Oh, come on. Try something new there.
Oh, you just don't want me,
you want to
playing
rest
my
on your
cards right.
Look at
just because I'm better with power cards, Tom.
Look at 21st Century Fool resting on his laurels, unafraid to try something new. Afraid to try something new. Bleh. Use NXT 2.0. Everyone loves that brand.
These are all garbage.
I know. I really hope they have new ones in 24.
I really hope they do too. These are not super great. I'm not gonna, other than the one I picked last time that I'm not allowed to pick now.
You can pick it. I'm just encouraging you.
No, you're correct. We'll do something else. Yeah, screw it. I'll take Raw. We'll do Raw versus SmackDown.
You're behaving like an actual WWE executive. You just want to do the same thing over and over, 21st Century Fool.
Look, if it's going to keep me employed for 300 years, why not?
All right. This is who we're going
millions of dollars, right? I mean, it's not going to get me named the promotion of the year only once in 24 years, but hey, what the hell do I care about that?
All right, we're going to give ourselves the highest budget. We're going to draft in snake order. Shakeups are on the draft pool. We pre-selected it, and we're ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Let's do this.
Get ready to get your ass kicked. I'm coming out on top this season. No question.
Feel like you have said that every season so far.
But this time will be different. All right, who do I draft first? We got Gilgs. We got Spider-Cat. We got Kristen Stewart. Metroid Mike is an option. Best Buy Josh. I'm going to give Toxic Pandolf what they wanted. They want Cowboy. I am drafting Cowboy first. All right, 21st Century Fool. Top that. Top Cowboy.
I will. Maybe. How do I move the other? Whatever.
Noodle. I saw JB available down there. The Boss. Of course, the Boss is available to draft. Reggie Fils-Aimé. Kenneth Omega. Oh. I said it, and it seems like he's going for it. All right, so I got Cowboy.
Hold on, this is still me there, Chief. We're going snake order.
Snake order, I forgot.
Look at you here.
Kenny Omega and Retro Josh, the first picks for 21st Century.
That's right. Going out the gate hard here, Tom.
Let's see. I need to stack up a really good women's division. So I think I'm gonna start with you know what? They're currently on fire, so I'm gonna stop with Apocalypse QT. And you know what? J-Bo is available. Let's take a chance on a fresh-faced bruiser. Let's get J-Bo onto SmackDown. All right, your turn. And just because you have a Josh doesn't mean I won't have a Josh.
True.
Take an EC Mary. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, you're stacking up your women's division. Very cool. Well, I'm going to take Gilgs just to make sure I have a tag team ready to go. And
that is a smart move.
Apocalypse QT is going to need an opponent. So, let's see here. Oh. So Jake's new name is Gnome Church. He was messing around and he got his name changed on a 2-month basis. Very cool. Very cool.
Nice.
All right. Well, I guess they just had a rivalry. So you know what? I'm going to take producer Becca so that Apocalypse QT has somebody to start a rivalry with. Cowboy will make wrestling, not just wrestling, they will make SmackDown great again. Matt looking to have a fire women's division at the moment.
Absolutely. I know what I'm about. They helped me in all the other seasons, so why not start off strong this season? We have a fantastic women's division at Bad Elephant Wrestling, and I'm going to take full advantage of it.
I don't blame you at all. So, up next, I think I'm going to pick up Metroid Mike. And, let me see. I'm picking up Chris from 1 Hour, One Decision.
Oh, it's an excellent choice.
Let's go. Oh, is he going to do it? He drafts Toxic Melody.
Oh, yeah.
Toxic Melody designed my tattoo. You can see the behind-the-scenes video of me getting that tattoo on our YouTube channel.
I will take the Eagle.
All right, I guess he'll bring in billions. Toxic Pandolf saying Cowboy will bring in billions and billions of fans. The most tremendous fans. Have you heard about this? Cowboy's got the best fans. That's what they're saying.
Tremendous fans.
Daisy.
The best fans.
The best fans.
Truly the best fans.
Truly the best fans. I'm taking Thunder Bandit. Thunder Bandit, welcome to SmackDown. You want to see the tattoo right now? Because it looks terrible right now.
Show him.
Matt, you 21st Century Fool, you draft. It's under a skin shield right now. So all you're getting is a lot of the ink residue. And it itches. It itches a lot. So I'm gonna be able to take this off in like a day or two. I have to pat it. I can't scratch it. I have to pat it. So but you can see it in great quality if you watch the video on our YouTube channel. Ugh. I'm also like wearing like baggy clothes so that it doesn't like risk like getting rubbed up against, you know?
That is fair.
Thank you, producer Becca. Really appreciate that. And we really appreciate Toxic Melody and everyone back in 2021 who donated towards that stretch goal and made it possible. Again, this is something for the kids. It was just something fun to make sure we hit our milestone. And I was very happy to do it. And yeah, just good stuff. All right. I'm going to pick Samus Aran to help round out my women's division. And then let me see here. You see, you have a Josh, so I need a Josh. So I think I'm going to go with Best Buy Josh. I'm drafting Best Buy Josh. How was it pain-wise? Pain-wise, it was just like you having somebody press on Sunburn, more or less, the whole time. Much less painful than I expected it to be. It took a little bit. So the artist actually told me that I was a surprisingly rare case of having skin that was spongy. And therefore, he had to like redo certain sections because the color wouldn't take. So that was interesting. But yeah, no, it was a unique experience. The parlor was very, very classy. A lot of cool, like, you know, nerd decorations and stuff. They had a little 4-month-old French bulldog named Zelda running around, but they kept a clean and professional parlor, and everybody was really nice, really, you know, funny. They were cracking jokes together and just making the mood in the place really nice. Materia Tattoo in Downeytown, Pennsylvania. I would recommend them again in a heartbeat. 21st Century Fool, who are you going to recommend for a draft pick?
You know what?
Taking the boss. Oh my gosh. Well, you've got you've got 3 Game Corp members to my 2 in your roster, so
I do.
Forming yourself a little stable over there. And he took Spider-Cat. Damn it. I should have moved when I had the chance.
Yes, you should have.
All right, well, I am going to grab Noodle. And I'm going to grab CJ.
That was going to be my next pick.
What do you got? What do you got, 21st Century Fool? Anybody in the chat want us? How about this? How about the next? How about the next person in the chat that calls something out? Matt and I, 21st Century and I will make one custom pick each. Like you're about to do 2 picks in a row, 21st Century Fool. Let's see somebody call something out. Who's
all
left?
Right.
Let's run over who's left. We got go to
Reggie.
all. Go to all. Go to all, please. We got Reggie. We got Charles Martinet. We got Waluigi. We got Dr. Robotnik. We got Luigi. We got Spider-Man. We have Ezekiel because we couldn't take him off. We have Nathan Drake. We have Pepsi Man. We got Hans. We got Wario. We got Melania. We got Titus O'Neil. We got Tom Nook. We got Kristen Stewart. We got Lies of Josh. Jake
That's
asking, didn't Charles Martinet wreck shit last time? You're not wrong. Is that a question or is that an order? Are you ordering Matt to draft Charles? Oh, Josh called it a little bit more definitively. He wants you to take Titus O'Neil, 21st Century Fool.
All right.
So now somebody, 21st Century Fool, make this your last overall pick. We'll both end here. Okay, so. Because, wait, how do we,
How do we what?
This will be my last pick. Because
Yes.
then you and I will have equally matched rosters. So,
Yes.
whoever shouts out in the chat gets to determine who I'm picking. Becca jumping in wants me to pick Hans. All right. Becca wins. And we're ending the draft right here. Toxic Pandolf, I already got Cowboy. Don't you worry. All right, here is Smackdown. We got a little bit of Game Corp. We got Gilgs and J-Bo. We got Chris. We got Daisy. We got producer Becca. We got Apocalypse QT, Daisy, and many, many more.
All right, I got to hit the right one here. All right, it's...
Sorry. Doesn't mean that Charles is it can't be picked up later. Jake, go ahead. All right, shout out your superstars, 21st Century Fool.
Let's just take a moment to look at that women's division. Can we take a look at that? Probably at least two future Hall of Famers.
Yep, EC Mary and
EC Mary, Toxic Melody. I have a Dungeon Diver in there. I've got the Eagle. I've got Retro Josh, and I have the best wrestler on the planet right now. And then I also have Kenny Omega.
Hey, all right, Matt. Whoever, you ready to get your ass kicked?
See what happens here, Tom.
All right. We're in Newark, New Jersey. 4 weeks until SummerSlam. Tonight's the night, the debut show. We have high hopes for you. We're going to focus on the positives, not the negatives, just the positives. We're going to storm this. Good. I'm expecting big things of SmackDown this week. All right. Who's going to be our world champion to start off? You know, I think he's put in a lot of hard work representing in the podcast scene, representing in the streaming scene. Chris from 1H1D is going to be my SmackDown World Champion to start things off this season. And the women's champion, you know, I think that they've set the bar in our Bad Elephant Wrestling weekly shows quite enough that Princess Daisy is going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. We've
impressive.
Absolutely. So, the gatekeeper of the women's division, now the champion of the SmackDown women's division. Triple H is waiting to see how your first show fares. All right, let's see about them. Power cards. Health Spa, confirmed. Tornado, blah, 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 confirm. Contract.
Yeah, I love the fact that since we upped the money for this season, you don't have to worry about money until at least week 3.
Hell yeah. All right, who's available? Oh, yeah. Oh, I can book Charles Martinet permanently for $152,000. That's interesting. I want to fill out my women's division a little more, so I'm going to pick up Donna Matrix. Or maybe I should pick up Beth Spartan. No, I'm going to pick up Donna Matrix for $20,000. So I'm signing Donna. Let's see what
ridiculously cheap.
I know, right? All right, main event. Well, we got to start the main event. We have to have our world champion go up against, let's see here. Let's get a rivalry started between Chris and J-Bo. We're going to have an Extreme Rules match. For the first week, we're going to have our world champion, Chris and J-Bo, go one-on-one. And let's see, we'll open the show. All right, we're going to open the show with a triple threat women's match. We're going to have producer Becca versus Apocalypse QT versus Donna Matrix. And we're going to see how this, goes towards setting up a number one contender. Role change. Let's see. Princess Daisy, I'm going to want them to be a heel champion, so we're going to that. All right, what do we got up next?
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Let's get a little feud cooking between Cowboy and Best Buy Josh. We're going to have a one-on-one tables match between the two of them. And then, what do we see here? We're going to have Metroid Mike and Gilgs go one-on-one. And let me see here. We'll just keep it a regular match. Let's just get a little rivalry going. And then I want to see Hans go up against CJ. That's a rivalry I want to get started. And you know what? I need some more heels in the men's division too. So CJ, as much as I love him, the pirate podcaster, he's gonna have a role change as well. So, all right, this is gonna be my card. 6 random superstars on your roster will have their popularity increased by 6. I mean, what do I have to lose by just going now? So let's launch it. Cowboy, Josh, Becca, Gilgs, Jabo, and Chris all getting a popularity boost. Very cool.
I don't think that was random at all.
Well, it is what it is. All right. That's my first week. 21st Century Fool, do your worst. Good, I expect you to deliver. All right, 21st Century Fool, who's your champions, and tell us what your logic is.
Well, let's see. Well, I could just copy what we're doing currently and just have JB be my champion.
I mean, if you want to be lazy, boring.
Yeah, I kind of do.
Lazy and boring.
Also, he has the lowest popularity, so this will actually get him up on par with everybody else.
All right, you do you. Now, what about your women's division?
Oh, we have some people down here.
You gonna be lazy and boring here too?
No, we're gonna go with Victoria.
Oh, a legend IRL. Part of the first major rivalry in Bad Elephant Wrestling history against producer Becca.
Least favorite.
Wrestling fans in the chat, if you could put a world title on a member of the WWE men's and women's division, who would be your champion right now? Picking up them power cards. I like it.
Got to do it now while you can.
Do it while you're solvent. You're putting your women's world champion in action right away. Bold, sir.
We're putting the title on the line, too.
Toxic Melody getting a title shot. Look at that.
Let's see here. What do we got?
JB, if you're still in the chat, you now have 2 world titles in different leagues. I wonder what's going on Monday Night Raw right now. Want me to look into it, 21st Century Fool?
Go for it.
People speculating that Seth Rollins is going to betray Cody. I mean...
What?
Oh, no. According to Ric Flair, Ole Anderson, brother of Arn Anderson and former member of the Four Horsemen, has passed away.
Oh. Thought we wanted good news here, Tom.
I'm sorry, but I just had to call it. Oh, and I guess they are laying the groundwork for Sami Zayn to face Gunther for the IC title at WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah, what would you think about that? About Sami breaking Gunther's streak?
I'm actually not really against it.
Oh.
All right, what else can I do here?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but here's something hilariously interesting. The Miz is apparently stuck in a room backstage in the arena that Raw is taping at, and people are struggling to get him out. He posted a video on Twitter, like, this isn't a storyline or anything. He's just locked in a room, and he can't get out.
I cannot believe that.
That's actually great. Oh. Those arenas, they're pretty big. I did a freelance gig once at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. They filmed some Smackdowns there, and just like it's a labyrinth back there. You know, it's pretty big. It's pretty intense.
That's hilarious. All right, Tom, you looking for this?
All right, go over your.
I got 3 title matches.
Oh,
all the belts are on the line. Women's title, tag title, men's title, and a triple threat match. We've got 2 role changes and Waluigi calling out the boss.
Oh my God, Waluigi versus the boss. Feud of the year, potentially?
Right?
Well, I'm not going to give you that credit. My card's better. Well, I can see how desperate you are to beat me, that you're going all title matches. That's cute, you know, but I'm going for quality over Flash, 21st Century Fool.
That's fine.
Oh.
I'm not sure you would know quality if they put it in a classic literature book.
All right. All right, we're going to simulate this match. I'm going to say that Producer Becca's going to win. Oh, wow! Well, the crowd wasn't too impressed, but Apocalypse QT won. Toxic Pandolph, I'm very sorry. We already saw Josh in action earlier, so I'm gonna skip this.
Boo! Well, skip the entrance.
I'm sticking to our usual our usual rules of one match per thing. Crowd didn't love that. We're gonna skip this one.
It went up though.
Numbers go up.
Metroid Mike.
An okay match. And we're going to watch our main event because I believe Chris and Jabo are in the chat. So let's spectate Extreme Rules, Chris versus Jabo.
Non-title match. Tom not believing that Jabo deserves a title shot. The disrespect.
I want to start Smackdown on an even playing field. I want everyone to earn their title shot, all right?
You're breaking Toxic Pandolph's heart. You're disrespecting Jabo.
Look, Toxic Pandolph.
How long have you been a promoter in WWE? Because you seem like a pro at this.
I gave Toxic Pandolph a PNG of Cowboy. They should be very happy I did that.
The following contest is an
also, this is the first week. Who's to say... I don't mean like this is the first round. We're going to go through a couple weeks of in-game, time. So, don't worry. Cowboy's not in this round. Doesn't mean you're not going to see him. As we're live from the Shamokin Indians gymnasium in Shamokin, Pennsylvania.
Who have rented it out to the Blackhawks tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, they let them spray paint the gym and everything. Tell us in the chat.
I mean, it was only $6 extra to do that, so...
Tell us in the chat who you got your money on, Chris from 1H1D or Jabo.
So, Tom, how do you feel about there being additional modes and things coming for 2K24? Do you think that's going to make MyGM mode more exciting?
I mean, more is always better, more options. I just want to see some release reviews because, of course... $70 is a lot to spend on a video game.
I mean, and that's just the standard version.
Exactly.
You've got the deluxe version, and then there's the WrestleMania 40, which I think is like $120.
I've always been buying the base editions of these games since I started buying them again, and we're just I'm gonna give it a little bit. Because as you and I have discussed, behind the scenes, and we've even told a couple friends, the most time-consuming thing if we do get 2K24, or not if, but when, is we'll have to recreate all of our friends from scratch. They do not let you import. Apparently, even though I'm at a high school gym, I have enough of a fireworks budget to make sure that Jabo has some fireworks. But yeah, they only charged you like $28 to rent the gym, so you could blow everything else literally on fireworks. It's true. But the most annoying bit will be we'll have to recreate all of our friends from scratch, so that'll take a little bit of time. But they'll look better. They'll look better than they ever have with all the new graphics.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is I agree, especially because we're doing a lot of the followed by MyGM mode. We're not necessarily showcasing the other modes on stream.
As much.
You know, but so like getting the standard version isn't terrible. But I will point out the one thing I do hate about it is some of the gear and other things, hairstyles and stuff like that, if they are attached to someone who is unlocked by the deluxe mode or higher, you don't get that gear for making a custom wrestler.
True, it's locked behind a paywall, which is annoying. And
Yeah, so like if Chris's boots are from a an unlockable character,
like Ultimate Warrior or something.
right, then you have to buy that version or somehow unlock that character in the game.
Ugh, you have to play
do
the,
that. I feel like that's the
game.
one thing
Ew.
I kind of hate. You know, I
Yeah.
think I should just get all the all the ring gear, all the hairstyles, all of that. And if you want to lock specific characters behind a paywall or specific parts of the game even, I guess, behind a paywall, then fine. Oh,
Nice head
that was
scissors.
beautiful. That wasn't locked behind a paywall.
You know, Chris from 1H1D in the chat, he's got an interesting note here. He says, I think Chris is definitely going to win. He seems like a great guy. So, what do you think? Yeah, I think he is a great guy. I think that's why I picked him to be my world champion. So I think he's going to win too. Very insightful. I think Chris is secretly a wrestling fan, and he's just never told us.
I think a lot of people are secretly wrestling fans. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really watch wrestling, but I am a huge fan of, soap operas or the like. And it's like, that's
Congrats,
all
you like
wrestling is. Wrestling, oh, do you walk under the ladder? Isn't that like you have 7 years bad luck or something like that?
J-Bo does not believe in superstitions, and he set that ladder up with intent. I think by the end of this match, one of our wrestlers here are going to be going through it. Maybe Chris is going to send J-Bo back to Otherworld. We will see.
If the AI believes in Chekhov's ladder, then we will definitely see something happen.
Oh. J-Bo going to get another scar on his chest with shots like that. But Chris reversing.
That's going to be another fun thing, I think, to watch the AI deal with if we move to 2K24, Tom, is you can throw weapons in 2K24. So not only can you beat someone with a steel chair, a kendo stick, etc., you can chuck it at them from distance.
I mean, I'm used to chucking things. I chucked the table at Josh's face while we were on the same team. So I can chuck weapons.
That's true. You unlocked that early.
Codebreaker to J-Bo. Can Chris get up and capitalize? You see, Mac, do you think you can put on a main event like this? I would love to see your competitors do something as exciting as my Smackdown roster. I don't think you got this in you.
It's funny you mentioned that, Tom, because we're going to see that literally right after this.
Well, I think it's going to pale in comparison to J-Bo and Chris putting on a showstopper right here. You want to just give up?
I love your false bravado, Tom.
You want to just give up first night in?
You were talking to Mr. MyGM, Tom. I am not giving up in week 1.
Well, enjoy your last season with that title. I'll very happily take it from you. I think it's J-Bo's about to take this match from Chris. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look out here. Face first into the ladder. Almost Finn Ballard that.
Finn 23 stitches, or was it more than that?
Something like that. 21, 23, something like that. Uh-oh, look out here. It's the Otherworld Edge.
And boom! I think this might be it for our champion. J-Bo going for the pin. 2, and Chris kicks out at 2.
You were just saying Chris is going to win. Chris is going to win. That's why you made him the champion. Then you're like, he's going to lose.
Hey. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and still get up. And I think Chris has a lot of tenacity. I mean, look at that beautiful spin around head scissors. Oh, but J-Bo gets him.
I think you mixed analogies there, but I'll let it go.
What do you mean? I said the Rocky thing. You know, nobody likes Rocky 6, allegedly, but everyone always quotes Rocky 6. That's the Rocky that line comes from. It's not how hard you can get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and get back up. And everyone's like, oh, Rocky 6 is bad, but they always quote that speech.
I feel like I don't often hear people the one fucking tilt-a-whirl cutter?
Beautiful.
Now that is why you put the belt on somebody.
I call it the Chris 360. If we're gonna keep naming his moves after Xbox. Kick to the spine, rubbing it in J-Bo's face, and a kick.
Chris flashing the leather.
I admire Chris, debuting here in MyGM mode and bringing out some moves we haven't seen before.
I'm amazed you didn't go back to the well and make it a ladders match, Tom.
Well, Chris did have his first ever victory in his first ever match, and it was a ladder match.
For the title.
Uh-oh, but J-Bo got a bat, and he's putting it to use. Oh, my God.
Ooh. Oh, now he's hitting that floor. You are not getting your security deposit back.
You do not scuff hardwood, especially on a basketball court. My gosh.
Yeah, no. They're going to have to tear that all up. Shamokin is going to be without a gym for a while. That performance of Little Orphan Annie for next week is going to have to be postponed.
Chris stealing J-Bo's finisher and planting him with a razor's edge on the basketball court. But now he's got to get him into the ring. Only victory conditions are in the ring, pinfall or submission. Anywhere else is just a stage for pain.
That's right.
J-Bo may have
Chris doing that move. He calls it 1 count, 1 decision.
There we go. Boom. We were talking about Finn Balor earlier. There you go. Shades of the current undisputed tag champion with that running drop kick.
Then drop kick. Usually a setup for his finisher. Will it be a setup for Chris's finisher?
I would really like Finn to get one more world title before he retires. I believe he's 40 or 41 at this point. He's been in WWE for going on 10 years. It's incredible to think.
That is crazy. It's also incredible to think that he's over 40 and has negative body fat.
I know. But, it's just insane that, he made such a name for himself in New Japan. And I think at this point, I have to look at the actual time ranges, but he may be in WWE longer than in New Japan. And J-Bo,
look out.
Putting Chris
ran right into that choke slam.
2, and Chris kicks out.
Chris managing to kick out.
But Finn Balor having an incredible run, the first Universal Champion. You could argue for a few years he wasn't used as appropriately as he should have been. But Judgment Day, probably his best run in WWE to date. Chris getting out of the razor's edge.
Now, Tom, I know you're more of the... it's the 1H1 DDT.
And this could be it. The world champion picking up a victory. And he does.
Got it.
A great showing from J-Bo, but Chris telling everybody...
Now, Universal and Unified are different, correct, Tom?
Clarify that question for me real quick.
Because isn't Chris Jericho the first to hold both titles?
Chris is the first ever undisputed champion in WWF/WWE.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I wanted to double check. I was like, that piece of trivia is in my brain, but I wanted to make sure it was right as you were saying something somewhat similar, but with someone else attached to it.
Now, Chris Jericho is the first undisputed world champion, which he did at Unforgiven 2001. Chris, I don't think that was just okay. I think that was amazing. I'm going to give you a backstage bonus for that one. J-Bo too. I'm giving you both some cash for bringing us a great main event. All right, 21st Century Fool. Let's get into your card. Who are we going to see in action?
We've got Victoria and Toxic Melody with the title on the line because that's what I do.
I think Toxic Melody is going to win this one.
About to find out.
She did it! Very
3-star out the gate. That's how you do. Titus O'Neil has decided I'm going to be a bad guy, and I'm okay with it.
Oh, so he's a primetime player again. Nice.
Oh, look at this. Look at this right here.
Trying to join Game Corp. Very interesting.
I think it's more the fact he's just aligned with the only other person as selfish as he is, as they take on Spider-Cat and Kenny Omega. and your new tag team champions, 4 stars. Wow, I would have put that somewhere else if I would have thought that would have been that high.
Chris asking how many twists and turns did that match have? Well, that's the thing. On SmackDown, that's the kind of quality wrestling you're going to get. I don't know what 21st Century Fool has over on Raw, but I'm sure it's yesterday's leftovers compared to SmackDown, all right? If you want sloppy seconds wrestling, that's what you're getting on Raw.
Look, Chris. Okay, I will give it to you. That match had more, twists and turns than a road in Western Pennsylvania. But to be fair, it had the same star review as a twisty-turny road in Western Pennsylvania. So,
all right.
Maybe if you put the title on the line, so fans would up that a little bit.
Hey,
talk to your commissioner about that.
The fans love my matches without the bells and whistles. You have to desperately bring out the gold. So just remember that. Waluigi's starting a feud with the boss. We're gonna watch this? All right, we're gonna see the Game Corp boys. Toxic Pandolf, you're not gonna see Cowboy, but you are about to get 21st Century Fool. Is this right? Yes. We are going to get JB and Jake. So what do you think, 21st Century Fool? Tell me about these two at the top of your card.
Josh saying Chris is on the wrong show. Look, Chris, anytime you want to come over to the right show, that's actually something, Tom, as we're talking about things in 2K24.
Yeah, tell them.
I want to know if people in the chat are going to be excited about this, because one of the things you can do in MyGM mode for 2K24 is actually trade superstars between brands.
We could make mid-season trades if we wanted. Like, I could be like, I'll give you Chris for the boss and JB, or something like that. Because that's how much you're worth to me, Chris. You're worth 2 wrestlers because you are that good. I know how much you bring in the money and how much you bring in the crowds. 21st Century Fool, he would give you away for pennies. I would make sure you are the linchpin of my show. That's why I made you world champ.
I wouldn't trade you for pennies. Maybe for Jake's golden phone.
Oh, all right.
Is that Android or iPhone? I'm gonna need somebody to figure that out for me. What plan is that under?
Cowboy, Jake, or JB? What is the? It's Ann. It's an Ann operating system. That's what runs that phone. And here comes your world champion.
Yes, indeed.
So why did you really pick JB? Tell me why. What does JB mean to Raw?
I mean, first off, it's the robe.
The robe?
I mean, why did I make him the champion, or why did I draft him?
Both.
I mean, they're the same answer. It's JB. We've seen him be dominant everywhere. He's got the scooter. He's got the robe. He also had the lowest popularity of all my male superstars. So he gets a 10-point bump and the belt.
Pity party. See, I don't pity anybody on my roster. I know they're all winners.
It's not pity. You want the man to be at the top. You got to help him get to the top sometimes. This is, you're setting someone up for success, Tom.
You know why we actually shouldn't get WWE 2K24?
What's that?
Because since they fired Matt Riddle, the scooter might not be available for JB's entrance. We might have to give we have to hope there's a different vehicle for JB to come to the ring on because they fired Matt Riddle.
Shit.
All right.
I did not think about that. And you are correct. We'll have to get AEW Fight Forever and give him a skateboard he can come down to the ring with. Oh, what a disappointment that game is.
Josh calling you out, 21st Century Fool, saying it's not pity, it's nepotism. Here's where we reveal that JB is actually within our family tree.
Josh, I just made you a tag team champion. Don't make me take it away from you.
Look at you bribing people with title shots.
Not even bribing him with a title shot. I'll just take the title off of him. I gave him a title shot because I knew he could win. He's going to give me lip about it.
Look, you're inflating.
He can sit in the locker room like the Miz.
You're inflating Josh's ego over here. He's just gotten another belt.
That's right.
He's just picking up gold tonight. Toxic Pandolf, I don't know who to root against. Well, look, this is Game Corp Civil War for the Raw Championship. It's either Corporate Jake or World Champion JB. I got my money on, what's the hilarious name that... Oh, Gnome Church. Gnome Church is who is going to win this one. We should just change his name in the game to Gnome Church.
I'm fine with it.
Why is the control thing up?
I don't know. Oh,
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Hit B. All right.
Why does it say...
I don't know. Get your controller away from away from your arm or whatever.
I don't know. My hands are up. I don't know what's going on.
I'm getting hacked right now, midstream.
Josh is hacking me. Or it's Chris from 1H1D.
JB?
It's actually one hack, one decision.
Hey! JB is hacking you to make sure that he retains the title. That's what's going on.
That sounds about right.
And JB, he's going with a really good offense right now. Show it. Oh, look at this power.
And then you ask me why I pick him. Are you kidding me? I mean, now granted, I'm putting him up against, another just, brutal tactician in the ring. So anything can happen here. But that's what the fans want, Tom. Anything can happen here.
Well,
Including going under the ring for weapons.
Anything depends on what JB pulls out from under that ring. Here we go. And, wow, they host shows together, but JB is ready and willing to hit Jake in the face with a kendo stick. What do you think?
Look, if you have never been hit by a good friend of yours in the head with a kendo stick, do you even have good friends?
Is that what we have to do the next time we have a family reunion? Do we have to just go around having all the cousins hit each other with kendo sticks, 21st Century Fool?
I mean, only if you're good friends, but I mean, I've already had a good friend hit me in the head with a kendo stick, so
Really? What does it feel like?
It's not exactly pleasant.
Is it like a vibrating pain or is it a solid pain?
It's a very good question. It's actually a bit of both because it's actually a kendo stick is actually like 4 pieces sort of like banded together.
Yeah, it's like bamboo.
Not stacked on top of one another, but like basically 4 sides. So it's sort of like hollow in the middle. So it doesn't have like the follow through that like a bat or something does.
Okay,
you still don't want to it'll still bruise the heck out of you.
Okay. Let's have a real talk. How many wrestling fans in the chat, or even just, when you were little and wrestling was cool, what's everyone's experience with having actual wrestling moves performed on them? We talked, newest member of Bad Elf Wrestling, Jabo. Jabo actually gave me a legit choke slam. We coordinated it because we were talking about wrestling moves, we were planning wrestling moves, and he choke slammed me, and I made sure I landed the proper way. But Jabo's about like half a foot taller than me, so he lifted me up pretty high. And when I hit the ground, like all the air collapsed out of my lungs, and I actually thought I was paralyzed for a second. I was like, oh no, I did it, like, you know what I mean? So it's not great. What about you, 21st Century Fool? Like, what, as a wrestling fan, have you ever like had a move done to you just to see what it's like?
I've been speared.
Okay.
Trying to think of. I don't think I've been power bombed. I did an F5 to somebody, but it was like onto like a bed or something. Like I've done that stuff where like it doesn't. There's lots of padding, so it's not that big of a deal.
Sure. Let us know in the chat if you've been a wrestling fan and you've ever like tried wrestling moves on friends. Except, as the game says, don't try this at home. And look at that power bomb from Jake to JB.
Speaking of things not to try at home, but yeah, so that is the one thing I was going to bring up, like how you said like you fell the correct way. But it's like it's one of those things of like right, like for certain moves and for a lot of things, even falling, like knowing how to like break a fall. Oh no.
21st Century Fool, could you please read what's in the chat cuz I'm laughing too hard.
Josh saying, I stood on top of a couch and put a lunchbox under my elbow and jumped on my mom. Broke her nose. I was the Macho Man.
When your mom was in the doctor's office getting her nose fixed, did you go, "Ooh yeah, mommy"? What was she sleeping or something? How did that work?
I'm assuming she was probably either sleeping or watching television.
Josh saying 10 million% true story. Oh my gosh. And
Oh, big knee to the face.
I think JB might have been busted open right there.
I think so. This match, they have not been in the ring for a while. Jake going the long way around. Those steps in the way. He has claptrap syndrome.
Look at him making a loop. I had a friend in grade school that I would watch wrestling pay-per-views with. His name was Phil. And we would like have like wrestling matches. I would come out to songs off of Offspring's Americana in his living room. And
I'm not going to lie, that's a good album.
yeah, Americana, top 10 album in my opinion. But the one time I did basically the equivalent of a drop toe hold to him, and I thought I fucking killed him, and I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get grounded. I'm gonna go to jail. You know what I mean? But he was all right. The funny thing is that Phil like lifted weights like in competitions and stuff, so he could have easily like ripped me apart. So I was always grateful that like when we were play wrestling, he didn't actually just beat the shit out of me.
Right. Yeah, no, I had a buddy in grade school and then in junior high that, yeah, we used to just recreate everything from wrestling in his basement.
Mm-hmm. Josh and I used to trampoline wrestle. Like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Josh, with another story. Go ahead, 21st Century Fool. Please read this one.
Well, I can't see the chat, so.
Oh, my bad. I forgot how our setup is currently. Go ahead. Take
there
it
we
away.
go.
Read more of Josh's parental damage stories.
I hit my dad in the head with a cookie sheet pan, busted him open. I was hardcore. The hardcore champion, Macho Man Josh Yeager.
So what I'm getting is Josh just looked for any opportunity to win the hardcore title against his parents. That's what
pretty much it, yeah.
Speaking of hardcore, Jake looking to take JB to the limit with every item under and outside the ring. We could have a new world champion by the end of this. And by we, I mean you with your inferior brand.
The inferior brand putting on a show tonight. I'd like to point out that every person in the crowd is on their feet right now, Tom.
I mean,
every one of them.
They're on their feet because the Shamokin High School gym doesn't have enough seats. But look.
Hey, standing room only is standing room only, whether you put 3 chairs in there or 300.
Look, I got Chris from H1D. I got Gilgs. I got J-Bo. I got Princess Daisy. Who do you got? 21st century.
I got 2 of the most electrifying men in wrestling right now, and they are going at it tooth and nail in the ring for everyone's enjoyment.
Well, if you're a true believer in the chat, I want to see Smackdown, #Smackdown season in the chat. I don't know what hashtag you want. Maybe like Raw retirement or something. I don't know what you could pull out. But #Smackdown season in the chat for everybody who actually knows.
I don't need a hashtag. We're just winners.
Ooh. #winning. What are you, Charlie Sheen? That's like a 13-year-old meme. 21st Century Fool. Although I think
the
world
boss's
champ,
lariat. There we go.
I think your world champ's about to retain here. Oh, wow.
Oh, kick out by Jake. Like I said,
look at that.
2 of the best. They're not done.
#Mary loves Isaacs. That is the other. That is so you can debate Raw versus SmackDown, but we all know EC Mary loves Isaacs. That's undisputable. Wow, that was an impressive backbreaker. 21st Century Fool, what's a wrestling move that you can't believe isn't actually like something that could kill people? Like a wrestling move that is done so safely but looks so devastating. What do you think?
Oh, okay. Well, that changes my mind because I was going to say the Muscle Buster, but that is not necessarily always done safely.
You know, the crazy thing is the Muscle Buster only failed once, but when it failed, it almost killed a guy. And that's so crazy.
That is the problem with that move.
Yeah. Like, on paper, the head's tucked, You know, like the way that Joe falls, he kind of takes more of it. But, you know, on that one time, he almost Christopher Reeved a guy, you know? Like,
right. I mean, that's it. If that move goes wrong, the upside is you're paralyzed for life.
well, let's talk about the upside
And
of
the
JB
champ
right now.
retained.
But celebrate your champion, 20%.
Oh, I will. I picked him. I stand behind him. And he shows why tonight, still your Raw World Champion.
So go over your new champions as of tonight. What's your card looking like?
I've got Toxic Melody. I've got the tag team of Retro Josh and the Boss and JB.
Nice. All right. So that ends Raw. So let's see how we did on our first week.
Yeah, how'd that go, Tom?
I think you just barely beat me. And congratulations. Good job. Whatever. All right. Let's see. I had a D quality show, but a C quality card. Gained 28,000 fans, made $16,000. Oh, wow. CJ on Twitter saying Hans embarrassing himself on the mic once again.
How about Jabo? Oh, Jabo and Cowboy.
Okay, Jabo, Chris got lucky. Things will be different next time. And Cowboy, really proud of my performance against Josh Yeager. I'm going to take this momentum all the way to the championship. Wow. All right, we got some rivalries building here on Twitter. Let's see how Raw did. Oh, you lost some money there, 21st Century.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just money.
Oh, look at you. I can just blow money whenever I want.
That's right. What it counts is look at the fans who love me. I hate to see Jake lose, but props to JB for a good win. That's what I'm talking about. Waluigi embarrassing himself on the mic yet again.
I can't wait for the Boss and Waluigi. Purple on purple, baby.
Yeager and Boss are an incredible team. That's right, Cruiser Hillbilly FR. You are correct.
They're just leaning into the stereotype with that name, aren't they? All right, you won an injury rehab card. I want a pre-match physio and a to the moon. Oh, look at that. It's raw. Go ahead and book your show, 21st Century Fool. Let's get another week in the books.
All right, so Melody needs to maybe take a break.
Oh wow, you're pushing your wrestlers pretty hard, aren't you? Aren't you concerned about their health?
Tom, I just said I might have to give them a break. Do we want to go back to all the VODs where you injured 3/4 of your roster on a weekly basis?
I'm going to start tweeting that you are a reckless promoter. That's what I'm going to start tweeting right here, right now.
Victoria, not happy. Would like the rematch clause. Sure thing, Victoria. One last man standing match this week.
Just one?
I might do the whole card. We'll see.
Josh accusing me of turning into Jim Cornette. I think I'm actually offended. I don't know about that one. Holy shit.
I mean...
How dare you?
Offended, but not incorrect.
How dare you accuse me of being a Lupin the Third cosplayer? Is it cheating just to say that Paul Heyman's my favorite manager / talker of all time? You know, Josh bringing up Jim Cornette. Cornette's a legend. You know, Cornette face. Fuck this company face. He's obviously a legend. So I was with Josh a couple weeks ago and I found Castle of Cagliostro on Blu-ray, which is Hayao Miyazaki's first movie. It's a movie adaptation of Lupin the Third. I've seen it before, Josh. I just haven't watched the Blu-ray I bought yet. I bought it because I know my sister and Mary haven't seen it, and we've been recently watching all of Miyazaki's movies. So I was like, oh, we got to get the very first one. You have any Lupin the Third familiarity, Matt?
I do not, actually.
What about the chat? Any Lupin the Third? It was on Adult Swim back in the day. Some of you might be familiar. Yeah, hey. It's absolutely good. Yeah. Josh say Lupin, my boy. So the most popular member of your roster is Toxic Melody. I mean, that makes complete sense.
Right? Absolutely does.
You looking to buy anybody? Don't you want to buy Dr. Robotnik? Or Battleship Brittany? I'm probably going to have to set myself up with a tag team and a mid-card title this week, though.
May have to do something like that, yeah.
Trixie Gambit!
All right. Back to work here.
Clubberella beats you up. Clubberella beats you up. I think we've had this conversation in chat previously, but has anybody watched the new Futurama? I think Jake said he had. 21st Century Fool of you?
No.
I was talking to my tattoo artist. They said, like, you know, hey, it's Futurama. They were like, it's the new stuff is fine because they said it's good because hey, it's Futurama. Josh, nobody watched the old one till it was gone. I mean, you know, yeah, that's the sad thing. Actually, you know, I mean, yes, that is true. That like original run Futurama was underappreciated, and then it found a new life on Adult Swim. But like, I guess what I'm nervous of just about the new Hulu run is like they twisted themselves into knots to like basically end the show twice. You know, like when it first ended, they gave you a pretty great ending. It was like, wow, you actually tied up everything. And then it came back, and there was some great episodes in the revival on Comedy Central. But then they ended it again, and they ended it in a nice knot. And then now it's back, and it's like, okay, do you think you could do that again? Because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What do you think, 21st Century Fool? What's your opinion about shows like coming back?
I feel like there has to be a really good reason for a show to come back. And I feel like oftentimes
beyond money.
Correct. Like, yes, correct. Because it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't work otherwise. It doesn't. Like, there's just so much like I haven't seen the new Avatar, the live action show, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard a good thing about it.
One friend said they enjoyed it.
Okay.
I don't know specifically their movie/television tastes, so I'm not, going full in on that right now.
Pause real quick. If anyone in the chat has seen the new Netflix Avatar Last Airbender show, please tell us your opinion in the chat. 21st Century Fool, please go on.
Yeah. So that's the issue. Like, the problem then becomes like, you've seen the original show, correct?
Not all of it, but
okay.
I mean, I am somebody who is usually against most live action adaptations of animation because it's never as good.
Right, but you've seen well, yeah. I mean, even if it was animated, and they were redoing it, I feel like the original is so universally loved or held in positive esteem that it just seems dumb to remake something that people already like, I feel like there's no upside, right? You have something that's already phenomenally great, right? So your best case scenario is it's as good as what the previous one is. But the horrific downside is it could be much worse. And then you ruin, the show, the franchise, the whatever, because of it. So I don't know, like, what did I see somebody say once? Like, rather than rebooting stuff that already has a following, you should reboot TV shows and movies that had a great like premise, but failed, either, cinematically or just for what, the writing was bad, the technique was bad, for whatever reason it didn't turn out. Redo something that sucked but had a chance to be good, because then your upside is so much higher. You know what I mean? Like, you're giving a new chance to something that wasn't good, as opposed to remaking something that people love, and then it turns out to not be as good. I don't know. It's the same thing with people every year who are like, here's where we get Firefly. We're still gonna get Firefly rebooted. It's, even if it's good, it's never gonna be as good as the original was.
Firefly,
it's not gonna make you happier.
I think is firmly fucking dead. I will say that.
Well, right. But it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going. It's not going to be. It's not going to bring you the joy the other one did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying there. Real quick, because Josh actually points out that, like, maybe Scott Pilgrim is an exception to the rule, whereas it was a comic book that had a successful live action adaptation, and then we just recently had an animated series, which I personally really loved. I know the animated series may have been a bit hit or miss for some people. 21st Century Fool, if you recall, we had a friend that we hung out with at MagFest who said they thought the animated series wasn't what they wanted. And I was like, okay, I can see where you're coming from. But I think Scott Pilgrim has been successful in print, in live action, and animation. So there's that for what it's worth. And then Chris asking you, 21st Century Fool, you think executives think that far? They see failure, they're not gonna back that well. And I agree. When they're looking at IP to adapt, executives, they want a success metric. And I hate that that's what they prioritize. But I do agree with Chris. That's what they'll chase.
Oh no, Chris is absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like that is correct. The issue is those executives are completely wrong if you're looking to actually make something good, which they're not. But if they actually could believe that, something better, like a better product would overall garner you more money, they might go that route. The issue is right. If you back a good IP, even if the new product sucks, enough people usually, at least before the realm of social media was so high, that, let me get rid of my card here so you can get going here, because I have a lot to say. No, because that's the thing. Like, back in the day, that's why you had the birth of sequels, was because even if the sequel sucked, you could guarantee, I think it was somewhere between 120 and 140% opening weekend box office of the second one if the first one was good. So even if it's awful, back then anyway, before social media was a huge thing, enough people would go and see it opening weekend to make it profitable, just because it was the sequel to something well known and well loved. I feel like that's a little bit less nowadays. And yeah, I mean, it's just not, I don't know. I'm sick and tired of them remaking good stuff and then they seem to just phone it in. I'm not sure if that's the case with Avatar. I haven't seen it yet. I'll have to sit down and actually watch it. But again, I feel like it can't beat my expectations. It can either be as good as the original, or it could be much, much worse than the original. So
Interesting. I like it. I like all of that. Um, first of all, Chris in the chat, I cannot believe you just referenced Thunder in Paradise, the Hulk Hogan classic. Holy shit, like for real. That was a pull I did not expect to see here. But yeah, that is we're talking about IP. That's pretty hilarious. So I have a question I've been waiting. I wanted to get 21st Century Fool's thought process out of the way, because I do want to ask a question, not just a 21st Century Fool, but the rest of the chat. I saw an interesting question on a subreddit I was in today called, what is a property that you can't believe hasn't had an adaptation yet? And I was going through the list, and I was like, for a lot of them, I was like, holy shit. But the one I'm going to start with, just to pitch to everybody, is how have we not have a live action Jetsons movie? Especially considering we got through that whole 90s era where we got the Flintstones movie, the Addams Family movie, Dudley Do-Right, George of the Jungle. You know, like how did we not get the Jetsons? I'm not like saying the Jetsons is like this bastion of like high quality, you know what I mean? Like this should have been made, but just think about that. Everything seemed like fair game. And that was such, maybe at the time, just such a culturally prominent one. It didn't get made. So in the just 21st Century Fool and the chat, what's like a thing that you're like, wait a minute, how did that not get adapted yet? You know what I'm saying?
right. I mean, I feel like for the Jetsons, and this may be a hot take,
Go for it.
but I feel like the Jetsons are actually just the Wish version of the Flintstones.
Ooh, all right.
So I feel like if you've already done the Flintstones, do you really need to do the lesser version of the Flintstones? Because the only real difference between, like, I haven't watched a ton of the Jetsons recently, but it's really just, let's take the Flintstones and then put them in, let's take a family, and rather than them being in the past, we put them in the future.
And I am pretty positive that the Flintstones was first. So, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Well, and not only if it wasn't first, it's still the more popular IP between the two.
Oh, undisputedly. The Flintstones is one of the most influential shows of all time. It was the first animated show to ever get nominated for a primetime comedy Emmy.
I will point out the hilarious thing, though.
Yes.
They have a Christmas special.
Oh, yeah, several. There's like a Christmas Carol version of The Simpsons. Yeah.
No, of the what?
Wait, which were you referencing?
Flintstones.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said The Simpsons.
Oh, sorry. Because the Flints, my mind's spiraling. But yes, there's.
Yeah.
Yes, but you are right. You are right. Yeah.
Yeah. There are Christmas episodes, or at least one Christmas episode of the Flintstones. What are they celebrating?
Are you saying because Fred Flintstone predates Jesus Christ in history?
Yes. It takes place in BC.
Yabba dabba, who is this baby in the manger?
Right, like what are they?
We don't have organized religion, Wilma.
Like,
all right, I got my tag titles and my mid card title ready to go.
There you go.
And
I just had to laugh about it. I'm just like, I'm so confused by the fact that exists.
All right, I'm a spectate, but I think CJ and J-Bo are going to win the tag titles.
Wait, you're okay?
Yeah,
I was about to say you're spectating.
I meant to simulate, but you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll spectate 2 from my show, a spectate 2 from your show, and we'll call it a night. How about that?
All right, we going long tonight, folks, but we are glad you are all here.
I mean, I'm having a good one. I don't think we should call it.
Oh no, I'm loving the crap out of this. Feel free to get your comments, your questions, all of that in the chat. Feel free to call me out some more.
So Chris,
on my booking and or otherwise.
Chris asks, who owns Hanna-Barbera? WB, yes. Warner Brothers owns Hanna-Barbera. And Josh asking, how have we not had a Fortnite movie yet? Well, just real question. What's the narrative of a Fortnite movie? Like, what, you know, what's the story that gets that sold? Is it something meta, like the Lego movie or Barbie? Like, how does a Fortnite movie work? I mean, I assume the Jonesy character is like the lead, you know? I guess we'll kind of find out the template when the Jack Black Minecraft movie comes out in a couple years, you know what I mean? But anyway, back to the IP question, or 21st Century Fool. Do you have any thoughts about how a Fortnite movie would work?
Not really. I'm not really sure. Well, the other problem is I haven't played Fortnite enough to actually know the story behind it. So that's my problem. So, you know, if you could adapt one of the story modes, like Josh was saying, that would probably work. I just don't know enough about it.
Okay. I have played. I have also. The thing is, the funny thing is, I've played Fortnite, but even like you, I don't really get the overall narrative of Fortnite. So yeah, that is a concern. How do you sell that to the public?
Right. I'm trying to think of an IP that hasn't been made into something, honestly. Something popular that hasn't been made into something. Because, I mean, there are crazy things that have been made into an IP.
Yeah.
Mr. T had a cartoon where he teamed up with a gymnastics team.
That's pretty good.
I mean, so it's like when you're like, man, I don't know what hasn't been done. Sometimes it's very few and far between.
Josh saying Monkey Island. That could be, that could be an animated comedy. You know what I mean? Same. You know, yeah. That's got narrative.
That's true.
Potential.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to go the other way, and I shouldn't. So yeah, that's.
I guess, you know what? I am still shocked that we haven't had a live-action Gargoyles movie from Disney. You know what I mean? Like that's
a decent one.
Blockbuster material in a heartbeat. And
I think the shine has come off the apple long before now, because I was about to say was there a Gears of War movie?
They've been trying to do that for years, and in fact, Batista was leveraging so here's what's interesting. Batista leveraged so hard to star in a Gears of War movie that there was a Gears 5 DLC of like Dave Batista as a playable character. Like they were like, we appreciate your passion so much that we're just gonna put you in the game because we don't think you'll ever get to be in the movie. But yeah, there's been multiple attempts. There's been multiple attempts to start a Gears of War movie, but it just hasn't happened.
So here's one, because I don't think it's actually been given like and somebody may have to correct me here, because I don't think they've been given a movie or a TV show.
Okay.
But there have been video games, so I don't know if it counts and there are books, but Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, in terms of live. Oh, well, actually, that's happening soon. Henry Cavill is producing.
Yes, well, that's what brought it to my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm amazed it took this long.
I don't know.
Because
I kind of understand why it took this long, because, like, I consider myself nerdy, but, like, Warhammer is a little bit of a degree of deep nerd that is not...
I have friends that could talk to you for literal days about Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
And barely scratch the surface of their knowledge.
But it comes with certain stereotypes as to why it's not as mainstream popular yet. You know what I mean? But you get somebody like Henry Cavill, and maybe that works.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and again, I mean, I guess what necessarily is mainstream, popular? You know what I mean?
Mainstream popular is how do I put it? When you take something that's like inherently nerdy and you balance it out to a degree where it can be casually consumed, like what they did with Marvel. They took years of dense comic book history and they figured out how to just take the most popular storylines and simplify them enough so that, like imagine the Infinity Gauntlet storyline in the comics versus Infinity War simplifying it in the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
In my opinion,
I think that is going to be the hard part. I think that is probably why they didn't do 40K, is not so much like the popularity of it, because there is a huge amount of people that love the crap out of that, but it is like a grim, dark future, and the stories and the setting from 40K make practically anything Marvel has ever done look like a children's book.
Okay. So, I have a question. Jabo, if you're still in the chat, I think you might be. But if not Jabo, anyone else in the chat who has experience with... I think Jabo left. Basically, I know Jabo was very big on the Warcraft movie because he has played Warcraft, forever. And he felt that it did a good job of kind of portraying a lot of lore. Producer Becca, if you're in the chat, Cowboy Jake, JB, anybody. Like, how did the Warcraft movie work for you? Because,
Well, and you're talking World of Warcraft, correct?
But...
because there are multiple games before World of Warcraft.
Jabo, I remember Jabo once, he gave me, a deep dive into, the Warcraft lore before World of Warcraft. You know what I mean?
Right. So that's why I was asking.
And he told me he thought that the movie was actually pretty good. I know the movie... So here's the funny thing about the Warcraft movie from, I think it was 2016. That movie is considered a success because overseas it made so much money that it kind of, it did pretty good, but it was a bomb in America. And, there's I've heard fans of Warcraft really like it. And I've heard, my wife, because we used to work at a media company, she had to work on Warcraft, and she was like, I don't understand what the fuck this movie is. I don't know what the hell it is. You know what I mean? So, that's what I'm saying. When you go mainstream, it's you make it digestible for casual audiences.
Right.
Josh saying it's really fun. Are you talking about the Warcraft movie? That's what I'm just to confirm, Josh, what you're saying. And 21st Century Fool, did you see it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not see it. I did play the game for a fair bit.
Oh, Josh is saying Bolt Gun is really fun. Okay. What's that available on? I'll have to look into that. Got a Josh game.
Oh, I think Josh was talking about that before.
Well,
Have you played Rogue Trader yet, Josh?
Rogue Trader, what's that?
That's another 40K property. They just came out with a game where it's very grid tactical based. It's a tactics like Final Fantasy Tactics style, but in the 40K Rogue Trader universe.
We know 21st Century Fool loves his Final Fantasy Tactics games.
It is the best Final Fantasy.
There you go. Josh saying next game on my list is Another Crab's Treasure, which is a Crab's Souls-like. That's interesting.
I gotta read that. All right, I thought this was a tables match since there were all sorts of tables, but I
actually am confused. I thought it was maybe it's an Extreme Rules match.
Well, he's also not pinning him. I don't think we've had a pin yet.
Oh yeah,
so I'm very confused. Unless they fixed it where you actually have to set the person up on the table and then do a move through it. You can't just put somebody randomly through the table.
Got it. Jabo, scoop a noodle into a big old elbow. I'm expecting Jabo and CJ to walk out with the titles right now.
Busting Noodle open with that just boot to the face. Here we go.
Do you want to hear the... Wow, they did it, Jabo and CJ, the first Smackdown's Tag Team Champions of the world. The pirate podcaster and the sexy stud from Otherworld scooping those belts. Congratulations, you two. How'd you feel about that match?
It was I mean, it was on your show, so it was all right.
Oh, all right. I'll remember that.
That was pretty good. I am curious why that first table shot didn't count, but we'll see how that goes.
Maybe it's as you said. It has to be deliberate.
Yeah, they may have fixed that.
All right. Appreciate your patience while I do some little Discord promotion. Let's kill the copyrighted music.
The demo is out on Steam. That is great.
Demos are great. Am I right? Getting to actually fucking play and not pay. Hey, how's Helldivers? Tell me about Helldivers. Because I saw Donkey's video about it, and it was the first gameplay I ever actually saw.
The friends that I play with, we are loving the shit out of it.
Okay. So is it like territory control third person shooter?
So
like capture control points and keep control of the map?
No. So you have objectives which mostly revolve around destroying bases of your enemy, which are either at the current point bugs or automaton robots.
Mm-hmm.
There are other things you have to do, like side missions where like you may have to raise a radio tower or arm a giant, I forget what it's called, but it's basically a giant cannon. And you get aerial bombardments for that and things.
Okay.
But there is sort of a capture mode in which there's a giant global map with like the solar system that you're looking at. And the enemies are encroaching on Super Earth, which is in the middle.
Okay.
And so you have to do missions and win to slowly push back the tide of whichever adversary you're fighting against. So if you don't play as much, or if you fail your missions, then the bugs or the bots will move further out into the universe and closer to Super Earth.
Oh,
and if you do well and play more matches, then you push them back.
I actually love that concept because that reminds me of Galactic Conquest in the classic Star Wars Battlefront, where if you have to keep control of certain planets or certain sectors, or else the enemies will advance and overwhelm. I like that a lot. Ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they did that in the first one as well. Basically, the big upgrade to this one is the first one was sort of like an isometric, almost like Diablo camera view.
Gotcha. Oh, real quick, 21st Century Fool.
Yeah.
Toxic Pandolph. You don't have Cowboy, but you can have some Metroid Mike, everybody. Here he is, the big daddy of backyard wrestling himself. Boom. He's going to be facing Gilgs.
How to make an entrance.
He's going to be facing Gilgs for the hardcore title. The Intercontinental title. Please continue.
You can call it the hardcore title.
Please continue.
But yeah, the biggest thing is they switch from the isometric view to a third person, and then you can change it so that when you hold your right mouse and aim, it actually looks down the scope in first person. So
look, I'm a big fan of third-person shooters. I like Gears of War.
That makes it infinitely better.
I like Battlefront, so I'm a big fan of all these things.
And the gameplay, in my opinion, is, like I said, we're just having so much fun. It's even like my one buddy and I were playing, and we were trying these defensive missions, and we finally got the hang of it, but at first they were so hard, and we were getting absolutely annihilated. And it was still fun. We did a bots mission, and the bots again have a very different play style. It was the first time we did it, and they were kicking our butt so much. You have a drop ship you have to call down when you finish your missions, and there's a timer.
I've seen that in gameplay. So,
yeah. So if you don't call the drop ship by the time the timer gets there, you're stuck on the planet. So he actually had a glitch where he got booted from the game, and therefore we couldn't call the drop ship down to come and get us. So we're just fighting endless waves until the timer ran out, and then you lose all your backups, you lose all your special abilities, you lose everything. So he ran completely out of ammo. We had no refills. He gets murdered by bots. And I'm running around like a maniac trying to stay alive. And there's no end in sight. So I literally just there's a you have like an emote button. So I just emoted a salute and then pulled out a grenade and just held it until I exploded. And that's how we ended the mission. But the two of us were just laughing and just enjoying ourselves so much, even when the game messes up and we don't necessarily win. It's still just it's one of the best games we've played in a while.
That's terrific. Good shit. Good shit. And as Josh points out in the chat, it looks like Starship Troopers. In fact, I'm pretty sure the release of the game sparked like this huge internet fervor about discussing Starship Troopers with people, I don't know, being like, it's about this, it's not about this. And it's just like, I thought it was really interesting that a video game just like got the internet talking about a classic film again, you know?
Yeah. And there is a Starship Troopers game.
Okay.
That just came out as well.
Oh.
But the other half is that Helldivers is also very much exactly in that same vein. Where it's like they just added robots and other things, but it's very much in the like, join the Galactic Army for freedom, for democracy, do your part.
Right. I've seen that Helldivers has the same kind of propaganda of like, when you lose a match, it's like, you've let freedom down or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Josh asking, how is Persona 5 Royal going for me? I mean, I've been keeping you up to date in text form at every step, buddy. Very much enjoying it. Still working on the build-up to the Summer Palace. So I think I'm at August 1st. I've got 20 days in order to attempt that dungeon. So, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a game I keep purposefully coming back to. And it's also a game that I keep prioritizing. You know, I'm very purposefully not starting other games so I can finish Persona 5. So, very much enjoying it. So Helldivers 2 is 21st Century Fool's game of the moment. Persona 5 Royal is my game of the moment. And in the moment in Smackdown right now, I think Gilgs is on their way to being the Intercontinental Champion of Smackdown. Who is your United States Champion? Do we even know who they are, 21st Century Fool?
They're being decided in my card to come.
Oh, wow. You couldn't even name one yet. Well, I think whether it's Metroid Mike or Gilgs, we're going to have the best Intercontinental Champion of all time. And I'd love to see what you could actually pull out. I mean,
we'll see if it's the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, seeing as how you couldn't even name that it was the Intercontinental Championship 3 minutes ago.
Well, you know, it's not about the name, it's about the performance, and these two are putting on a show that I don't think Raw could ever match.
I mean, I'll give you they're putting on a show, but we'll see if it tops mine or not. Well, the one other thing I will say is the one other game I tried out recently is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor.
Okay.
And as a very much a survivor game like Vampire Survivor, the rest of those. That's also a lot of fun, especially if you are a fan of the Deep Rock game.
Josh making fun of me for calling the Intercontinental Champion the Hardcore Champion. I'm sorry, I've been playing as WCW with my brand for so long, all right? But it doesn't change the fact that we've got the best roster on the planet, much better than Raw. I don't even know why would you waste your time on Mondays watching 21st Century Fool show. Give me one reason to watch your show, 21st Century Fool.
I mean, we had higher ratings last week. We have great wrestlers. We have more fans. What other metrics would you like? I mean, can you hear this crowd? Yeah, I can't either.
Can you hear that slam to Metroid Mike's face?
I could, actually. Mostly because the crowd was very quiet.
Josh saying, I'm debating on Penny's Big Break or Helldivers. I'm very excited for Penny's Big Break. It's a 3D platformer from the team who made Sonic Mania. I think I would like to try a demo. I think I need to check on Steam if a demo's available. But it looks like my kind of shit. So yeah, very interested to try that.
Josh, I will help you out with this one. I think I would say go with Penny's Big Break. The only reason I say that is because you can do it, and you can still do it and have fun. But Helldivers is absolutely a cooperative squad game. Like, if you are not playing it with a group of 3 or 4 people, I don't think it's because unlike other games like Dark Tide or Vermintide or other Back for Blood, Horde like games like that, where like if you jump in and it's one player, you get like some bots or some AI for the other characters in your squad. You don't get that in Helldivers. If you jump into a game with on a mission in Helldivers with just you, it's just you.
Well, Josh already confirming, yeah, that's a nah from me, dog, in the chat.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't want to put words in your mouth, Josh, but that's why I was telling you, because I figured that would probably be the decision-making point for you. So, it is a lot of fun to play in squads, but if that is not your cup of tea, I think you're going to get tired of the game very quickly.
Gotcha. The 21st Century Fool, would you like to hear... They announced the DLC packs for 2K24.
Hit me.
All right.
Like Metroid Mike hitting gills.
On May 15th, we're getting the ECW Punk pack. This will include CM Punk, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, The Sandman, Terry Funk, and My Faction cards featuring Paul Heyman. ECW.
Wait.
ECW
Did you say the 15th?
of May?
Oh, of May. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I was going to say, you're getting that a week after the release? That's crazy.
Nah, about 2 months. All right.
Okay. That's a great pack, by the way.
Oh, Gilg's going for the pinfall here. Is he going to be... No, Mike kicks out. All right, DLC Pack 2 on June 26th. It's called Post Malone and Friends. So we're going to get Post Malone, Sensational Sherry, Mosh, and Thrasher, a.k.a. the Headbangers, Honky Tonk Man, Jimmy Hart as a manager.
Okay.
What do you think about that one?
I'm not as excited for that one as I am for... I think Sensational Sherry is great to actually have in a game, especially if for nothing else, just to get, again, all of her gear in Create a Wrestler. But also her. She deserves to be in a game.
Absolutely.
I'm not... I mean, I understand why they put Post Malone in it, but... okay.
Yeah. DLC...
Like I get putting Bad Bunny in this year, but he's actually wrestled. Post Malone is coming in because he actually curated the soundtrack for 2K24.
And I guess he's a big enough wrestling fan that hell yeah.
I mean, he is a giant nerd. He's a huge Magic the Gathering fan.
Yeah, he bought the One Ring card for like $2 million.
Mm-hmm.
All right, DLC Pack 3. It's called the Pat McAfee Pack. July 24th. You get Pat McAfee, but here's what's interesting. The only other note is that it says playable co-hosts. Stay tuned for more info. So to me, that sounds like playable commentators. And all I have to say is that I really fucking hope that Greg Miller becomes a playable wrestler in this game because he co-hosts a WWE show. And oh, did you see that neck breaker from Gilgs? Is this it?
That was a
One.
cutter.
2, Mike kicks out. Damn.
That was a fireman's carry into a cutter.
Josh saying
and I'm trying to think of who has done that finisher before. Going up top.
And Josh saying the Pat McAfee pack will only be football players. So Greg Miller, the refrigerator
Lawrence
Perry.
Taylor.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right.
He only fights Bam Bam Bigelow.
Only. Next DLC pack. The Global Superstars pack. That's on September 20th. So we go from July 24th to September 20th. That's pretty big. Oh, hang on.
That's
Metroid
also
Mike
pretty
over
big.
1, 2.
Got him.
Metroid Mike wins the Intercontinental title.
Which he will turn into the hardcore title.
I mean, it basically should be.
3.5 stars. Very nice.
Congratulations, Metroid Mike.
That's
Love
probably
it.
going to be better than my main event, but that's all right.
I mean, it's SmackDown, so of course it's going to be better than your main event.
There it is.
All
What's
right.
the last pack?
There's 2 more. Just let me get you to the next menu.
So I got to pick 2 matches here.
Yeah, we're do 2 matches, then we'll wrap it up for the night.
All right, we've already seen JB, so
And JB won. Look at that. How surprising.
that was a shame. All right.
Good choice. Good choice there. I think I know what you're doing. There we go. Waluigi versus the boss. Love to see it. You love to see it. All right.
Right.
Going back to the DLC packs. The Global Superstars pack releasing on September 20th. We have Jade Cargill. Oh, let me put the I gotta put the music back on for that. All right. Jade Cargill, Nia Jax, Michelle McCool, Carlito, Kairi Sane, Lyra Valkyria, and Dragon Lee. That's a pretty stacked DLC pack, not gonna lie.
That's a big DLC pack.
Jade Cargill making her debut in a WWE game, that's pretty fucking cool.
Right? They pulled her from Elimination Chamber.
All right, and then finally, on November 13th, the WCW pack. Diamond Dallas Page, Iron Sheik, Mr. Perfect, Great Muta, and Lex Luger. How do you feel about
There we go.
How do you feel about that one?
We have bookended these DLC packs with the best ones.
Now I'm
The global one is good, but the first one and the last one are the ones I'm excited about the most. I mean, I'm happy to get Jade Cargill as a playable character. Absolutely.
Sure.
But yeah, the first DLC pack and the last one are definitely worth the price of admission.
So, Matt, 21st Century Fool, and I think maybe even Josh and Jabo, if you're still in the chat, I believe you've all expressed that you have more WCW familiarity with me. What does the WCW pack make you feel? How excited are you for Lex Luger, for Diamond Dallas Page? You know, like what? Give me some vibes there. What do you think about that?
I mean, Luger never got the push that he really deserved. He beat Yokozuna, wasn't it? But never even got the title, and then they went, great, okay, we're done.
Well, that was a WWE, don't forget. Yeah, but absolutely.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like now's your chance to actually give him a run in the WWE that he deserves.
Yeah, they really dropped the ball. I don't know why they gave him a count-out victory over Yokozuna, but they should not have. Josh saying it's early WCW, but okay. I mean, I get it. But, you got to consider that, considering how big WCW's roster was, there were only a very few people who are still in their good graces. I don't think Vampiro or Buff Bagwell or Huge Erection or who else? You know what I mean? I think the people...
Yeah, but Huge Erection was actually... He used to be... Isn't that...
No, he's disgraced at this point, is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but he's been
Morris.
in a ton of WWE games, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was before he got, fired and disgraced.
Well, right. Because he's a horrible trainer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're talking about DLC packs, and it's kind of who's usable? It's
Yeah, but you had a lot of other characters. You could have gone with, Mortis or Canyon or...
This is what I want. So you're more of a WCW aficionado than me. So tell me.
I mean, Glacier wasn't super great, but he was big there for a while. You could do Billy Kidman.
That's crazy, actually. Yeah, why isn't Billy Kidman in more games?
I have no idea. Billy Kidman was phenomenal.
Is he still married to Tori Wilson? Let me look that up.
That I don't know.
He was a producer for WWE for a long time.
But yeah, there's a from Allentown, PA. But yeah, there's a ton of
he's
good.
Divorced. He's divorced from Tori Wilson.
I mean, but there's a ton of good wrestlers that you could pull from. I'm just trying to think What's his name? I mean, he wasn't super great. What? Alex Wright, Das Wunderkid.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I'm dancing.
I mean,
What's
it was a
Waluigi
stupid
fucking
gimmick,
doing?
but like,
What is
you know,
Waluigi fucking doing on your show?
he's dancing like the Wunderkid.
On your show, they don't even wrestle; they just dry hump each other.
I mean, there are fans that would pay for that. I'm just saying.
Only fans.
I mean, the boss is wearing a silk suit. All right, let's just saying. Much like Robin Thicke, these are blurred lines.
My God.
You goddamn right I went there. Waluigi,
What?
roll up. Come on, ref. Count a little faster. I got another match we got to spectate. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Josh. There's a ton. It really seems like they have only picked very specific. And this is the thing, right? You because that's the thing. You own WCW at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know why you're only picking like WCW wrestlers that were also WWE wrestlers.
Well, I mean, because you got to consider Sting, AEW, The Giant, AEW. Who else? You know, Ric Flair, AEW.
Right.
As he's saying, most WCW are WWE legends. But who else? I mean, I don't know what they're doing with Goldberg or Kevin Nash or Scott Hall. Maybe they're just in the base game.
But you're right. Yeah, you could. Well, I mean,
Scott
I mean, you
Steiner?
could do them with. Yeah, you could do them with legends. But I'm trying to think of like, and it's
Booker
been a while.
T.
Like from WCW, I'm trying to think of just WCW guys that never came over. You know.
Well,
but like,
well,
I mean, you had.
this
I mean, you had Benoit in there for the longest time. Not saying you should put him in, but like,
wait,
where's
your
Dean
audio?
Malenko?
Your audio cut out. What did you say?
Oh, I was saying I was trying to figure out. I was trying to think of just straight WCW wrestlers that didn't. But like,
Your audio cut out.
and then I was
though.
saying
What
like,
was that?
well, I was saying, like, what about Dean Malenko?
Yeah. Okay. Dean Malenko. That's a name. That's a better name. Yeah.
You know, like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Forget
I could have thought you said something, but it just almost
yeah,
disappeared.
forget the redacted name.
It just disappeared.
You know, again. I don't think I'm not the WWE. I could say his name. He's a horrible person, but still, he was a wrestler in
Wait,
game.
whose name? Whose name?
That is, the one, the only. He's great. You know,
Oh wow, my
as a
audio
wrestler.
my audio just dropped out again. Holy shit.
Right. I mean, he's a great
One.
wrestler. He's a horrible human being, and he's no longer here, thankfully. But like, pick if you can put that person in a game from time to time, you can put Dean Malenko in a game.
It's crazy because Dean Malenko was a producer for WWE for a while, so I don't know why he hasn't been in the games as a wrestler. I don't know what he. Josh asking Tom.
I mean,
what?
I mean, you could also just do, here's one. Why not have William Regal as a wrestler?
I actually wonder because wait, hold on. The boss, what are we doing here? Nice. I think Waluigi is done. Here we go. Look at that. You brought up William Regal. I think so. Here's just what I believe I know. When he left AEW, Tony Khan gave him like a conditional release that was like, you can go, but contractually, I'm making it illegal for you to be on TV for like a year after your release, which is why we didn't see him until that thing with The Rock's daughter, because it was like that was over a year. So I kind of wonder if maybe that's why he hasn't been in the video game since then. And maybe I have no idea otherwise.
It's very possible.
All right, so I believe you have one more match to show us tonight.
That's right. It is the men's championship.
You mean the
IC
United
Sparkling Ice
States
title.
Championship. The Championship of America. Josh, hello, hi. Josh saying Tom. Like, hello, hi, I see you.
But yeah, I think definitely they've missed the opportunity to just add some of those WCW wrestlers that never made the transition, but were
Who's-
still incredibly popular there.
Who's left?
What do you mean?
Like, who's a WCW superstar that hasn't transitioned?
Well, like I said,
Like, I feel like
he
Sting was the last big one.
Oh, he probably did like they probably played bit parts, so that probably doesn't count. Because I was gonna say like was it Mortis? I'm trying to think of what his name is.
Okay.
They were at Sting was it, but let me try to look it up here while these people are making entrances.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the big WCW. Jeff Jarrett. But the funny thing is like Jeff Jarrett came to WWE and then he left. So I don't even know if they want to put him in their games.
Right. Yeah, you could have him. Okay. Yeah. So, who was he in WWE? So yeah, he was Mortis. I think he also went under a different name. Was he Canyon and Mortis in WCW?
Chris Canyon?
Yeah.
He was Chris Canyon in WCW, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then he was in the WWE, so he wasn't a standalone. He was only there for 3 years though.
Yeah, he was
Excuse
Chris
me.
Canyon in WWE. He did not have a good run, but he was. Have you seen the Dark
So-
Side of the Ring episode on him?
I have not.
It's fucking tragic, but
I mean, aren't they all? Like, not any disrespect to him, but if you're on the dark side of the ring, isn't that because?
Josh, when you are with me, I'm free, and thank you for subscribing. All right, and here comes the third participant.
What was your pick, Josh? I'm sorry, or was it Canyon?
Oh, Titus O'Neil was Josh's pick for you. To
Oh,
draft.
thank you, Josh. Hopefully, he wins the U.S. title right now.
I hope RK wins.
I mean, for Josh, that's just another belt for him because he picked the winner.
Only if Titus wins.
Yeah, it's a tough road. It's a hill to climb because RK is very good. But yeah, help us out in the chat if there's anybody else you think should be in any of these DLCs that we haven't had. I'm trying to think of those old school WCW wrestlers that weren't huge names in WWE as well. Though I'm glad to see DDP. Absolutely, Josh. The fact that you know we'll be able to do DDP versus Randy Orton and go Diamond Cutter versus RKO anytime we want. So was there a pack in there, Josh, that really stood out to you that you liked?
Yeah, what's the downloadable content you're most willing to get? I think the CM Punk ECW pack for me, personally.
That's got who again? It's got what? Punk?
CM Punk, the Dudley Boys, Sandman.
Oh yeah, that's the first one, right?
Yeah, Sandman.
Yeah. That's one of the two I really want. Like I said, it's that one and the last one are the two big ones for me. And I'm curious about the Pat McAfee one.
I hope that we get Greg Miller as a playable wrestler. That's all I want.
As long as we don't get Corey Graves, but I'm sure we're going to get Corey Graves.
Yeah, for real. So there's a Pokemon Presents at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. If I somehow wake up, does anybody want to see me stream it?
Yeah.
Does anybody want to see me half awake being like, "Hey, Pokemon!" Yeah.
Yes. What did you think of the Nintendo Direct?
They announced Star Wars Battlefront collection, so it was the best direct of the year.
Okay. Was there any-
Josh still believes we're gonna get Gold and Silver remakes, but I'm telling you, They are already teasing black and white. I do not think gold and silver are going to get remade a second time.
Uh-oh, look out here. This could be the end of it right here.
Is it tables or is it TLC?
I think it's tables. They haven't zoomed out enough to see the title if it's up there, so I think it's just tables.
RK11 getting the knee drop. That's actually the only thing I'm actually going to watch the Pokemon Presents for tomorrow is I want to know what the next mainline Switch games are going to be.
Big Lariat.
So we'll see. Titus O'Neil, nice. And maybe if there's any trading card game news, that'll be cool. But
RK!
Well, RK7 is your United States champion.
And new WWE United States Champion, the Eagle RK7.
Well deserved as always. 3-star. I'll take that.
I'm calling him out in Discord. I'm saying he's the champion of America.
So do you like the new style of Pokemon game? Tom, Josh, anybody else?
What do you mean new style?
Is it a new style? I thought somebody said they sort of switched stuff like with the open world sort of. I guess it's not new, but do you enjoy the open world?
I liked the open world when it was in Legends Arceus. I haven't played Violet and Scarlet, but they had, rough technical launches that kind of made me wary. So I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I do enjoy it being more open and more explorable overall. So I can't tell if I beat you. I think you beat me, maybe by inches. I don't know. We're gonna see. Let's go.
50-50.
Josh says, "Give me OG style, but changed up." All right, so I made 38 grand. I gained 38 fans. And Jabo on Twitter, try repeating those words to my face next week, Chris, if you have the guts. Oh,
I mean, it's just him all over.
All right, let's see how you did. Gained 31,000 fans, but you lost $25,000. Oh, Lily, my cat's in here. Hey, Lily. You need to get out? Go ahead. I don't even know when you got in here. Anything on Twitter?
Spider-Cat apologizing, saying, sorry I let everyone down. Promise I'll do better.
Oh, wow.
Cowboy saying, I didn't want it to get ugly, but Spider-Cat just kept pushing the envelope. Don't mess with the bull if you don't want the horns.
Running that mouth.
Right?
I got a limited stock reward. And you got a to the moon. Oh, and look at that. Smackdown.
Wow.
The number
one.
one.
What is that? 69,000? No. Yeah.
Nice. 69,000 fans. Nice. Well, 21st Century Fool, I thought this was a pretty good night. We had some hilariously inconsistent action on Bad Elephant Wrestling. And then in my GM mode, I think I'm smoking you. What do you think?
I think you're smoking something for sure. This is a great night of wrestling, both for Bad Elephant and starting off the new season of MyGM mode. It's a slow start. We're picking up from square one, but we'll get everybody back at it and get those 4 or 5-star matches very soon. Hell
yeah! Well, I think I had a very good night. Did you, 21st Century Fool?
It was great.
Good shit. And I want to thank Jaeger. I want to thank producer Becca, Chris from 1H1D, Jabo, Toxic Pandolph. Thank you, especially Toxic Pandolph, for buying everybody those subs. You are magnifique. Thank you to Jake and JB and Cowboy from Game Corp for coming out. Thank you to Hans and Thunder Bandit for popping in as long as you were able. And if I forgot anybody else, I'm a bastard, but you guys all rule. Thank you so much for being here. We maybe not do the Pokemon Presents tomorrow morning. It depends if we're up on time. But you can always catch us here for Mammoth Monday on Monday nights here at twitch.tv/badelephantgaming. And until next time, who are you?
I am Mr. MyGM, 21st Century Fool.
Mr. MyGM for one more season. And I'm Tom. And we will see you in the future. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being here. The button for the end of the stream is broken.